Okay.
I think Leah's having her moment. We don't want to rush it.
It's almost over. It's almost over. Ah, okay, I'm so excited. That's so fun. I love it.
I should keep this in.
Oh my God. I love it.
You should totally keep it in. I think it'd be hilarious.
What's up, everybody? It's that anime show. Keeping it in.
Oh, God damn it.
And I'm Terri Doty with a dying...
I'm dying of whatever. I don't know.
A cough, apparently.
A cough, apparently. No, the weather has been sucky, and I've been trying to get over a cold for like 3 weeks.
My vagina.
And it's horrible. It's horrible because I have that cold. Like I've yet to
introduce yourself.
Sorry, J. Michael Tatum. Fuck you. And
you can just say that. You can just walk up to someone and say, "Hey, my name's J. Michael Tatum. F you."
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do. It's okay. I don't mean anything by it.
And the lady that is defending my honor is Guest Leah Clark.
Leah Clark. Yay! We're very happy to have.
Hello there.
But I was telling a story about being sick. If you'll excuse me for a moment.
Sorry, I was doing a show.
No, it's that weird.
We'll wait until you're done. Just go ahead.
Tell us about the war.
Tell us about viruses, please. I'm dying to know about your bacteria. I always wonder. Thank you for having me over so I can learn about all this.
No, but tell me, does it not suck when you're on the verge of being sick, but you never actually get sick? Because it sucks because it just drags on for weeks, and you can't in good conscience just pretend to be sick and just lay down and be like, "Oh, sweetie, make me some soup or some hot tea," because
my conscience is so great when I do that. I
can't do it because I know that I'm not really sick, and I know that I can't do this now because if I really do get sick, I'll be the boy that cried wolf, and I'll be like, "Are you really sick this time?" Because I'm not going out there and getting you more orange juice if you can do it yourself, kind of thing. You need to do this yourself.
Checked. I get accused of being a liar. Steven checks my 40. He's like, "Nah, it's just you." I'm like,
"Just you."
Are you serious?
Yeah. But
so you're like, "Honey, I'm sick," and he's like, "No, you're not."
I'm like, I don't think you are.
No, you're not.
No.
In sickness and health, except when you're lying.
It'll probably help, if you get up and move around. So just do that.
You know what would really help that sickness is if you get up and run me an errand. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. No, I hate it because the thing is, when I start feeling sick, I want to just get it over with. I want to get sick, and I know the worse I feel, the quicker I'm going to get over the hump. And this constantly just being on this threshold of just feeling a little off, really not sick, just coffee and snotty and a little tired. It drives me fucking crazy because you can't do anything with that. You can't do anything with that. It's a minor inconvenience. It's not dramatic enough to be interesting to anyone else. And it sucks.
Well, I'm glad you shared it with us.
Yes.
No, but you see the lengths I have to go to try to make it interesting, and even that doesn't work. It sucks.
Like listening to someone describe a dream. You're like, you know what? There's a reason you were asleep during this.
You bored yourself. Yeah. You bored yourself.
It just put you further into a deep sleep.
Yeah. So how are you, my lady? I haven't seen you in a while.
I'm good.
Woo!
I'm great now. I just land sharked out before we started, so I'm fantastic.
What is land shark? Explain
I can't believe you have not seen.
I don't. I'm so
really.
I live in a cave. Apparently,
it's the YouTube chick that I'm obsessed with. Her name is Jenna Marbles, and
what's her name again?
Jenna Marbles.
Jenna Marbles.
She puts out new videos every Wednesday with her dogs. And she's fantastic and awkward and weird. And I guess for some reason she had some off day and decided to make this entire video about how you put your hand on your back and you're instantly what is known as a land shark.
Which is with that.
A shark that's on land.
I know. Hang on.
Ooh, you're
Tatum's
about to...
being dangerous and opening a Coca-Cola he just dropped.
There you go, it's fine.
Inside.
It's fine.
Oh my gosh, I just did that actually. I went to the store and I was so excited because I saw this flavored water. And I pulled out this flavored water. It was in my car, and it's rolling around. And
Leah.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so UP.
Are you texting her?
Well, no. Now that she's actually here, we've got to.
We can actually talk. It's kind of weirding me out. I'm not used to communicating face to face. So
you go, "Hey, Leah, I just sent you a text message."
Oh, you did? I'll check it in just a second.
It would be funny if it's a text message going, "Don't tell the story about the fizzy water. Don't."
So anyway, Yes, I was in the car, and it rolls over everywhere. I'm in traffic, and I want some water, so I'm like...
And you think it's just water, so you did not know it was carbonated?
No, not at all. I just opened it like a douche, and it went, ooh, everywhere. It was like a geyser in my lap. Or a douche.
Opened it like a douche.
Yes. Like a douche in the middle of the night. If you ever see
a carbernated douche, don't get it.
That would hurt.
Yeah.
But
coke up the nose is painful.
But only for a second. Not that I'd know.
It really clears your sinuses. I can only imagine what it would do for your nose.
Like soda, not Coke, because that's awesome.
Coke is great for your nose. That's great for your nose, too.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm going to party.
By Coke, we do mean cocaine. Just clarifying.
It's not the 80s.
I was gonna say, do we work for some are we business tycoons from the 80s that we
call me Patrick Bateman?
Coke. Yeah. Telling you this internet thing is gonna be big one day, boys.
That's how you snort. It's not.
I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time.
That was I don't even know what that was. It was really dramatic, though.
I was trying to be. It was. Yeah. Well, it has the effect of getting the coke into my system, but also scaring off any potential scavengers.
Oh, hey guys, this fucker knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I think we should go find our cocaine somewhere else. I mean, we are.
Can you imagine me on cocaine?
No, I don't like you sober.
I don't have to imagine you on cocaine.
I don't want to know what that would be like anymore.
I kind of do actually, because you're kind of always pretty chill and laid back.
Really? I think am I chill?
Even at your most exuberant, you're pretty chill.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has ever called me chill before. I'm usually
in comparison to most people, you're very composed.
This is kind of an epiphany then for me. I'm not sure. I'm going to change on account of this. Because I guess I see myself as being somewhat erratic and goofy as fuck. I guess one can be goofy and chill.
Yeah.
But erratic, I've always thought I was really erratic, but I guess I'm not. I guess I'm very
it depends.
Chill. I know I'm chill today.
On the setting.
Because I'm dying, but...
Well, you and I hung out in New York. We went to that karaoke bar with Waylon and Schimmel.
Yeah.
So I saw you.
Chill then. I was pretty chill.
Yeah, you were chill.
I guess I was.
You and Schimmel were like nerding out about phones in the back, and me and Waylon were like
nerding about phones. We were nerding about music. The music just happened to be on our phones. We were not nerding about phones. We weren't that.
I have like these photos.
We weren't shunning everyone else's company for phones. It was,
I just like photos of us in the bar music. And like Sean Schimmel and Tatum, I almost forgot her name for like
she pointed at me. Really, she pointed at me, and like her face was, "Fuck, who are you?" Like I totally.
You guys took longer than I know either. Really? You
I know. I forget her name all the time.
It changes week to week anyway.
Week to week.
But anyway, so I have these photos of like us at the karaoke bar. We're like living it up, and there's photos of like Tatum and Sean in the back with phones out, like pointing, like really excited about technology.
It was music. We were playing music for each other. We were sharing music,
and that's less nerdy. So
no, it was. Believe me.
All right, so
the music we were listening to was just as nerdy. So
since you're here, someone else has to bug me. Brian Massey's bugging me on Twitter.
Oh, fantastic.
You can follow me, Totally. It says, have fun for me, and please tell Steven to watch his levels.
Oh.
So, and
watch your levels, Steven.
Yeah, you don't complete me. You come tweet me.
Oh my
anyway, I know.
Gosh.
I am just going to tweet myself now.
Hey, I'll come tweet that man.
You would.
He's like, when am I coming on the show? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, well, just let me know in advance so I can tan beforehand. I'm like, okay.
He knows he's really doing that for me, right? Not for you. I mean, he doesn't know, but he'll figure it out.
I don't know. His hugs make him think they're for me.
Figure it out when
I want to be a fly on the wall when this interview happens.
Massey's been on twice. He's due for another appearance, but yeah.
Why didn't you ever ask me to be on? I had to like beg you to get on this show.
You did. No, that's not true at all.
We don't like you.
I had to beg Leah. I had to beg Leah on
whatever. We had to hunt you down.
We tagged her, bagged her, threw her in the back of the truck.
Oh gosh.
And I got out because I'm a land shark.
Salud.
I got out of there.
Sorry.
At least
this is so pathetic. That's like I want everyone
to go put some pajamas on and get some chicken noodle soup and with a teddy bear.
Oh my fucking god! Get the fuck out!
I want everyone to picture me like like in my jammies with like with my feet in like a warm bowl of water. Like every horrible Ziggy cartoon of him being Ziggy.
Have like a big red nose.
Big red nose. And like, snot sickles.
Who you gotta kill to get a grilled cheese around here?
Could I have a cup of coffee?
No, but you can have a cup of coffee, not coffee.
Coffee, get it? COUGH.
I'm coffee. So I'm
pretty coffee.
I'm pretty sure coffee doesn't do anything for coughs, though. Oddly enough.
Probably doesn't.
But no, I'm glad we finally hunted you down and got you on the show.
Well, because we had to, force Terry into 12 hours of
It wasn't
labor.
forcing. It was like, hey, you want to do this? Sure, cool. That was me. That was you forcing me.
Yeah.
Like, and if you don't do it,
I felt bad though because it was like so long.
Dude, seriously, 72 scenes in 12 hours. It was a great day for the shit Facebookers say video 1 and 2.
Which y'all should go look at if you haven't seen
Derek
it yet.
Whitener and Martha Harms.
Explain this for people that don't know what you're talking about.
Tatum hasn't seen it.
I have not seen it.
You have not seen it?
No, I mentioned it to you last time you were here. Tatum's a very busy man, so I don't get to see him all that much, which is great that we get to do the show because then he doesn't have an excuse. Leah wrote essentially just an amazing script making fun of just how intense people on Facebook get.
Yes, this is true.
You go.
And it was, there's that whole shit blank say meme. Have you heard of that? Shit girls say?
Yeah, or like shit girls say to gay guys and stuff like that.
No, oh my god, it's like this whole thing. Yeah, it was like shit girls say.
That's going to be our break.
I am so
during
out
the
of
break.
Loop.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, hey, we have to totally watch them. They're amazing.
We do.
And so there were
tons.
The thing is, it started out and it was like this brilliant idea. This guy had this shit girls say, and it's all these little quick things that girls actually say. And it's a guy in drag, and he's just being a girl, and he's so.
I mean, he still has like
brilliant.
a beard though. Yeah. So yeah.
But he's basically quoting a bunch of girls.
Yeah, just like things like
my favorite one is the shit girls say to gay guys. It's like, oh my god, why do you have to be gay and stuff like that? Like,
yeah.
Why can't I just date you and things like that? Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's like maybe a handful of them that are really well done, but there's a ton of them that are really poorly done, and they were getting so many hits on YouTube, and I was mad. I was like, what? This is getting that many hits? And I was like, I could come up with something so much better, produce it way better.
I love it when you see those shows and you're like, really, Tom Green has a show? I can get a show. Okay, Tom Green has a show.
Who?
Exactly.
So I was, adapting my little anime scripts actually, and I procrastinated. I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna write this, and just within an hour I wrote it. Called Paul Wingo, which Bruno Palencia's husband, and I was like, hey, we should do this, and then organized it, and seriously, within 3 days, it was boom, made it.
So what is it? What is it?
Oh,
exactly?
It's a shit Facebookers say. It's just like things that people on Facebook, how
like
intense
poke.
Facebook is in your life.
Oh, she's going.
Or like, I'm going to unfriend him. And it's like so dramatic. That's like
one of my favorite ones.
That's hilarious.
Me and Martha are drinking at this bar that is not a bar, but it looks like a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing set design. And she, like, we're drinking and and she goes, oh, at 10 o'clock, don't let me forget, I have to harvest the corn. Like, shit like that.
Oh, and what's cool about it, and I don't know if other people know about this, but every single little scene in the script is actually taken from a real life moment. Mm-hmm. So it's always been moments
like
that
Ian and Wendy.
And Wendy Powell, actually, I don't know if she's, well, I'll just go ahead. There's like my favorite scene in there is when the girl is going to, like, her guy friend is like, okay, I did it. I unfriended him. And he gives him a hug, and it's like this great big moment of, I'm so proud of you. And so that was like when Wendy Powell and I were roommates, I came home and she was just very serious on the couch. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, I did it. I'm like, what? What'd you do? I unfriended him. I just deleted him from Facebook. Like,
it's an intense
so proud
thing
of you
to delete somebody now, but like I had life imitating art afterward. I got invited to. I ran into a friend had a birthday and he wanted a bunch of people from high school, and I'm one of those people to meet up and have a drink. And I looked at the invite list and I went, "Oh, she's going." And I went, oh my God, what did I just say? Like,
that's funny.
Because it's Martha, she's like, she's going, and you see her go,
yeah.
like,
It's awesome.
Yeah. Or, and also Faces. Gotta spread it like wildfire.
Yes.
Instead of Frenzies or whatever.
Or Twinsies or something that was on there. But Faces.
Although I kept saying Feces. But yeah.
That was from a guy I actually met at a bar, and it was a gay bar, and we just clicked really quick, and he's like, oh my God, do you want to be Faces? And I was like, what's that? I'm like, on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? I'm like, yeah. So we did it, and he was like, okay, we're Faces.
Well,
so
I had only spoken to Martha a couple times, but we actually became friends doing that shoot together, and we were actually doing a scene, and we friended each other on Facebook in the middle of a scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is sad.
There you are. Yay.
Oh, see, I'm terrible about Facebook.
You are. You're the worst.
I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
Why do you hate it? Let's talk about why you hate it.
Because it is an absolute fucking waste of time for someone like me. Someone like me. Now, that's...
but not us.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, for people like you.
You guys waste your life away.
No,
That's
like
right.
you,
I got more important things to do.
No, let me. I should say, for
Tatum.
people like me, it's a waste of time. For people like you, it's pretty much probably the best it's going to get. So just, I shouldn't. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, here's the thing.
You are mean sick.
I'm a very mean sick. I'm not a good sick person.
And you
I'm
know
a horrible
what?
sick person.
You're
I
a
throw things at
grouchy
people.
sickie.
Grouchy. I hate life. No,
I'm sick, you son of a bitch.
Oh my
and
God.
somehow it's all your fault. No, here in a nutshell
Sorry,
was what I feel about Facebook. I like the idea that you can keep in touch and contact with people that you don't see very often. And there are many benefits to it. I'm not over here going fuck it should be burned to the ground. No, not that. It's just that I think it's one of those things that ends up becoming such a huge dominating presence in your life that it becomes a huge time vampire. For me in particular, like if I kept up, and I see a lot of young people. Now the thing is, those of us here in this room, we're different in that we grew up without it.
Exactly.
It came into being
like things
once we were
like
kind
it,
of
like
through our adolescence,
MySpace and things like that.
But what worries me is there's a lot of young people that grew up with it. Like
they're so socially awkward.
It's been their primary source of socializing with people, in their life, and so they. And it does, like being able to I know there's good friends of mine who, I've met at cons or whatever, who are wonderful people. They're very wonderful, they're lovely people, but they're just very awkward or they're very unsure of themselves in face to face with actual people. And
you can be ballsy on the internet.
But these people that have entire relationships, romantic relationships online. And I've tried to explain to these people, like, that's not a relationship. That's not a relationship. At most, it is the sort of rehearsal for one, but it's not a real relationship. And if having it out with someone online and unfriending them, all that thing is so dramatic, like you are not ready for real life, and you will never be as long as you think. And I think Facebook becomes one of those things where I'm also reticent, any sort of social networking thing where you have to sort of put your best foot out, whatever, forward, and you have to describe yourself for people. I don't like being, and this is just me, and maybe I'm being an old fuck about this, but I don't like basically the shit you fill out to describe who you are and what you're into, what you like, what you don't like, this, whatever. Well. But people don't in general, and I think that's fine. But you're forced to sort of co-opt everything about yourself into something that can essentially be put on a fucking tax form. I hate that. I'm like, well, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this, and I don't like that because I think it narrows the field of what people feel is worth talking about, because that's the standard. Well, it's not important unless it can be expressed as a Facebook profile.
Is they're like, so I didn't know this until J. Michael Tatum friended me. Is it true he's gay? Like,
yeah, which I think is really funny. I'm like,
no, I thought I'd fuck with you on Facebook.
No, it's total ruse. Yeah, it doesn't actually. No, that's one thing. And I think I think a lot of young people. There's just so much drama on Facebook, so much drama, and I think when you focus on it, and I remember the days when the internet was a new thing. And this whole thing, no, seriously, but I think now the internet in general offers you a place where you can comment on things so quickly and so impulsively, but yet there it is forever. As far as we know, the shit you can
erase them.
Yeah, but that's not how it works. You can't really erase anything. If it's been on the fucking no, you can't. If you put something out there, it exists somewhere on the internet and is retrievable. However many fucking erase buttons
you can erase it though.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You can erase it in theory. It may not appear on that wall, but guess what?
I'm going to post something on your page right now and then erase it, and I'm going to make you go find it again somewhere out in space.
I'm not saying I can find it, but the thing is, if it's appeared, it's not like words in the ether, like in conversation, where in a real-time conversation, in the heat of the moment, you may say something you regret and go, fuck, okay, you know what? I'm really sorry that didn't come out right, blah, 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 blah. You say it, and it's fucking out there, and it's away from you, and it's abstract. And also, getting to do that, knowing that it's kind of anonymous.
That's not necessarily just Facebook. That's
not Facebook. No.
It's like email
Facebook is
too.
kind of it's email as well. But I mean,
email's worse.
But generally, I think, and this is the same problem I have with Twitter. It's like I like. There's interesting things about it. I think it's wonderful, but I don't like this whole idea of everything what you have to say is something that should just be encapsulated in X amount of characters. We've
talked about that before.
It's too limiting, I think.
Yeah,
and I think it
should be limiting. It keeps it quick.
Saying like,
but how often can you say something of real value that is also quick? It doesn't work that way. I think it caters to short attention
brevity is the key of wit.
No, but no one knows what that means anymore.
Sure they do.
And I'm
going to put it on my Twitter right now and tell them all to look it up.
Let me call shenanigans on that quote for a moment. Understand that quote.
We'll see, but they're going to highlight it,
and
Google search it, and that's what's going to pull it up. They're not going to do research on it.
But let me just for a moment, Ms. Clark, call shenanigans on this and say.
Oh my God! I'm grounded. I'm going.
You made the mistake of quoting
no
Shakespeare,
TV
and
for
now
a
it
week.
is fucking on. But people said, okay, the quote,
no soy drink for you.
The quote, brevity is the soul of wit, comes from out of context. It sounds wonderful, but in context, when it was written, as part of this huge soliloquy that Polonius says in Hamlet,
did you just do, Leah?
That is hilariously ironic. because it's here's the thing, and I'm explaining this because
I'm
people know this, but I mean, Polonius is saying this, when he's talking to Hamlet's uncle about, what's the problem with Hamlet, blah blah blah. What did he do? Oh, he's in love with my daughter.
That was Terri, by the way.
It
wasn't me.
People can't listen because you don't have attention spans. Shut up.
I'm listening.
He doesn't have anything to do with my attention span. If an attention span had to, relate to you talking, we wouldn't be fucking friends.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have a show together.
Just for you, love. Just for you. I'm shooting at the finger right now.
Tatum just shot her finger.
But anyway, the brevity of the soul of wit line comes from a monologue that Polonius is giving, and while he is giving this monologue, he is absolutely the anti-brevity as a soul of wit guy. I mean, he's so not brief, and he so just drags everything out and kind of buttresses everything he says with 1,000 different ways of saying it. And so when he says brevity is the soul of wit, it's fucking hysterical that he's saying it, because this is a human being that does not understand what he's actually saying. So it kind of proves that brevity is not the soul of wit. The comedy comes from the fact that he can't shut up. And see what I'm saying? So it's complicated that,
But the sentence brevity is soul of wit, in the context of that is what was funny, and it was the brief.
But it's funny because it's funny but it's funny for complicated reasons. And my point is, it's funny for reasons that cannot be encapsulated in a simple
140 characters.
This, that. I'm saying, and I'm saying there are many things that can be said that are really funny and profound that can be put in a very narrow sentence. And I mean, poetry works that way. Poetry's all about limits, and having, you have to, follow this metrical scheme and whatever. But I'm also, and so I'm of two minds about the idea of kind of having to squeeze or compress, what you're saying. Because I think on one level, it does force you to bring your A game, so you can, just get appropriate amount of information out there in as succinct a style as possible, and it can be really witty, but it can also be just noise. Because sometimes if what you're saying is too brief, it makes no sense, because it doesn't have enough time or breadth or space to resonate with its audience, and so it doesn't dovetail with anything in anyone's minds, and so it's noise. There's no information conveyed. And so I think a lot of people are reduced to sound bites, and they're sound bites that don't really give you the full picture of where they're coming from. And I think, if a person says something that is really new and shocking and radical, but is not given a chance to explain what they mean, then just what they're saying that's shocking and radical just sounds crazy. And you're like, well, what the fuck? And then, now we cut to commercial. I mean, it happens on, for example, the news all the time, where you have someone who has a viewpoint that's not necessarily towing the party line. And they go, all right,
no matter what, they're going to get cut off. Yeah.
And they say, well, I think America is great, except we're all stupid, and until that person is given a chance to explain themselves, they sound like an asshole. But they're not given the chance to explain themselves. Ergo, no one learns anything. All we learn is something that kind of reinforces what we want to believe about that person, which is, well, they're clearly fucking crazy. Well, they may not be. That's my thing. It's a give and take thing. I think some people work very brilliantly within that narrow thing.
But I don't try to. Well, some people do with their Twitters and Facebooks. And Facebook, I mean, there is a limit. I don't know, but for the most part, like, unless it's my friends granted, I have a personal, like, Facebook because I like to still talk to friends that don't live in the state anymore, but I don't want to have them be bombarded by, like, clips and stuff because a lot of my friends aren't into anime. Like, I don't want them to have to do that stuff. So I have a separate one, and that's the personal stuff. Twitter, my Twitter is for fans and my friends as well, but again, it's more geared toward just me being funny. Like, never do I try to get deep about the shit that I'm talking about. Sure. I mean, unless it's a really like
a fun quote or something inspirational or like an epiphany you just had.
There's nothing wrong with that, and one can even be profound.
I much prefer to us have this conversation. Like hardcore. Like if it's like something that we're really passionate about, like do that instead of like, well, did you read my update?
Well, exactly, and see, and that's what I'm saying is that I think young people for whom Facebook and various social networking media and things like Twitter are their primary means of socializing with other people never get the chance to have conversations like this, and they don't know how to because for them their primary mode of relating to other people are things that can be easily encapsulated in a tweet or Facebook status update or whatever. I mean, example, and this, I don't mean to say this to sound like a jerk, because but it does get under, it alarms me and gets under my skin a little bit where every now and again, like once in a blue moon, I'll actually post something on Facebook and it's just like, I think because I do it as rarely as I do, I think, it gives me, I get a lot of comments on it because it's kind of a rare thing that, Tatum's actually posted
something on Facebook,
It's a unicorn post.
See, that is both very brief and witty. I love that.
Spread it.
But I think I'll sometimes use words that are kind of big, or I try to make it kind of unique and original sounding. I just don't want it to sound like just word salad. So I'll put something together that I think about, and it's meant to be sometimes food for thought, or I try. It doesn't always play out like that, but that's the intention. And I get a lot of posts that are like, oh, really cool, thanks, or I'll check out that book, or I'll do this, or whatever. But I get as many posts of people that have something along the lines of saying, like, wow, you use so many big words, I really don't understand what you mean. Now, there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with not knowing what a word means, right? I mean, you're not born knowing this shit. But it's like nowadays, kiddies, kiddos,
it's these
youngins,
days.
it is so much easier to look this shit up than it has ever been for any of us.
That's true.
That it's like
do you remember okay, I want to know how high schoolers do like references and shit for essays now, because I remember that was fucking work.
They're allowed to have like
catalog. You know, the card catalog. I don't think they have the card catalog anymore.
Yeah. Fuck you kids that don't have to deal with a Dewey Decimal System anymore.
And a copier.
we actually risk physical injury trying to fucking get these fucking encyclopedias off the shelf when it looks shit up, because this shit was hefty. They could crack a fucking skull.
But now you weren't even allowed to take them out of the library. You had to pay 10 cents to get that shit out of there.
Oh, for God's sake, does it not drive you crazy when someone says thank you, Michael, or thank you, Terry, or thank you, Leah, or whatever on your Facebook or something with your name in it, and they can't spell your name correctly when your fucking name is like an inch above the box where they're posting it? Like,
really? What if their phone auto-corrected it or something?
Their phone did not auto-correct Michael to be spelled incorrectly, or their phone is also stupid. And
there's no such thing as a stupid phone, only a smartphone.
Yeah.
So,
but it drives me crazy because I think the more people rely on the internet, and it's not to say that the internet and all of it offers isn't without wonderful benefits. I love the internet. I think it's great.
But it makes you socially awkward.
It can, and like with any technology, I don't think it's inherently good or bad. I think it just amplifies those things about ourselves that unless we deal with them, they're going to overwhelm us. And if you're already if we're born socially awkward, which most of us are, it's not going to help if you don't actually go out there and try to socialize in real time.
Right. Well,
and so the temptation of getting to just, be whoever you want online and be this anonymous person is not going to help you in life. Right. It really isn't. I mean,
it also takes away the element of communication of listening, because when you're posting something, you're just throwing it out there. It's all about you. Presenting it.
It's a one-way street.
But there's no one's reacting. You're not reacting to anybody. You're not seeing how your words are affecting the other person.
There's no dialogue.
No. Yeah. Well, and that's why I think I hate myself for having a smartphone. I hate myself a little because I catch myself doing that all the time.
Like you just throw stuff out there?
Or, okay, instead of going, oh my God, this is a beautiful plate of food, I go, oh my God, I have to take a picture of this and post it.
Oh my gosh, you people in the food. I cannot stand the food posters on Facebook. I don't care.
I care that I'm having a gorgonzola mushroom ravioli in Maine. No, I care.
That's great. But that's the only place you do it is on Facebook or any of those, or Twitter. You're never no one's gonna come over to your house and like, look at this. Let me show you this picture I took the other day. This was
or my friend Sean started taking pictures of his plate after it's empty.
This is an omelet the other day. It's amazing. Like, people show you your kids. They show you like their vacations. No one shows you the food.
I
stuff on
show
Facebook.
the food. No, I've always showed pictures of my food.
Like in real life? Then?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So if I came over and y'all were just hanging out, you'd be like, Leah, look at this rack of artichoke.
You've seen who I'm married to, right?
I know, but it so alarms me that. No, I mean, I like to take pictures, and of course, Joshua loves to take pictures.
God, yes.
He's brilliant at it, but. There comes a point at which, like, for example, when I go to cons, I never take pictures of anything. I make 3 or 4 pictures.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't have the time. I mean, that's part of it because it's hard to stop everybody.
Like,
but I try to take a couple. But, like, if Joshua's with me, he will take literally thousands of pictures. I mean, he's just always just action shot, action shot, action shot. I mean, he gets
And thank you for not going, here's disc 1. Oh,
we don't do slideshows. And here's us with, going through the fields of Iowa.
This is blurry. Too. Sorry.
But it so alarms me. Like, whenever I do my 18 and up panel, which I generally call J. Michael Tatum What the Fuck 101, and it's just me by myself.
It should be JMT WTF.
That's how it's put in the books mostly. It's And it's a lot of fun, but, at these 18 and up panels, for very good reason, they're not allowed to
take pictures
or video or record anything. And I explained them, well, it's because,
it's special.
It's special. It's just for you. And I'm like,
he lets the clutch out.
I'm like, I'm just like, but even if it's not special, even if I don't care whether any of this shit gets out on YouTube, because I really don't, but in principle, it's like, I just want this to be between you and me. Be special, be more special. Just fucking put the picture, put the camera down and just take the shit in. Experience it without having it fucking mediated between your goddamn smartphone or whatever fucking thing you're using. Because comes a point at which you're no longer really experiencing it anymore. Because you're like,
stuff like that I don't get. I don't get like adventures. Like best example of that. All of the pictures from my wedding and me and Steven actually getting married, none of those are taken by anyone, like me and Steven related. Those are taken by my friends and things like that because it was a zombie fucking wedding. We did not take any pictures, which really pisses off my mother. Really pisses her off because I'm busy enjoying the fact that I got married to my best friend. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, we have to post this immediately. And don't you fucking forget to tag me. Like, that's not going to happen.
Right.
But... yes,
but there's another dimension to social networking, I think, and its effect on young people. And I don't mean to be all Dr. Phil about this because what the fuck do I know?
Sweetie, you're more intelligent than Dr. Phil.
Well, that's not saying so. That's not saying.
Say what you will.
You are more intelligent than a head of broccoli.
You are.
I am.
And I mean that.
But I mean, and I read this recently, so these aren't my own original ideas. I read a lot up on this because I'm fascinated by the issues.
Can I just say that I love that you're so serious right now with that little pink giraffe hanging off you?
I have noticed that. Yeah, Leah got it.
It's been there this whole time. I cannot take you seriously.
Leah's gift to us were these little pink plastic, tiny, like infinitesimal animals. And Terri has
I have a 3-limbed monkey.
Tripod. We're gonna call him Tripod.
Tripod monkey.
And mine is a little giraffe that just happens to fit perfectly, like straddling the wire leading up to my microphone, and he's right there. So here I am, staring intensely at Leah with my arms.
But there's a giraffe staring right back at her.
But there's a little giraffe just hanging on for dear life.
Dainty pink giraffe sitting right next to him.
I'm gonna turn him upside down so it looks like he's precariously balanced.
Okay, that's a little better.
Help me!
You're gonna forget about it.
Help me! But what was I saying? Oh yes. Okay. So
stripping. I know, right? Sorry.
It's getting sexy
hot in here.
Finally.
Oh well, thank God.
I'm just taking off all my clothes.
No, Tatum, keep your shirt off.
I had to take my jacket off. It got hot in here. I'm sorry.
But I think the thing is, in life there is the social you, and then there's the inside you. The you that's just you in private, and that you is typically more complicated because there's all kinds of shit going on in your head that just it's difficult or impossible to express to anybody. But you have to own it. You have to live in your head to some extent. You have to be solitary sometimes. But people aren't solitary anymore. And the reason why is even people that and I say people, I mean there are a lot of people, especially young people, that only know how to socialize primarily through the internet. Mm-hmm. For them, suddenly there's no private space anymore because every waking moment is
not
either...
like a big thing in the news now. Like just...
Well, and and there's no privacy. And I'm not talking about like Google, tracking you or shit like that. I mean, there's no interior space in your life where you are not, beholden to what's going on in other people's lives. And to some extent, that's true of all of us. But for young people, I think, especially when you're a teenager, life is fucked up. You don't know who you are. You're struggling to figure yourselves out. High school is a white knuckle ride through hell for the best of us. And
that was before the internet with us.
Yeah. But now it is like you can't get away from it because high school fucking follows you home in the form of Facebook. And so it's like you don't have any sanctuary away from that shit anymore. And I think that's got to drive you nuts.
Well, that's kind of why I've sort of jumped ship of Facey. I'm not like as on it as I used to be. I'm more on Twitter.
Like every day I have to put something and
because it was just too much. It turned into too much of life. Like I knew too much about other people. People were like, "Oh, I saw this on Facebook." Like it kind of went away from being this innocent little entertaining outlet to life, like a substitute of life, which is weird. So like I like Twitter because it's just Twitter's little updates, I think it was funny
Thomas
articles.
Hayden Church. I think he was mentioning it. I forget on what movie it was. An Emma Stone movie, Easy A, and he goes, "I don't understand this thing. Like like blah 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 is having an okay day and got a free Diet Coke. Why is that newsworthy?" That kind of thing. And I'm like, yes, I agree with that. Thank you.
Well, and that is something, when Facebook or things like that are your whole world, people really desperately struggle to be interesting. And so they feel, and so rather than giving like their responses or their posts thought and time, they do it impulsively because they think, oh my God, I haven't posted in like a few hours, I'm no longer relevant. And on
get
some
online
level,
and my
so
status.
It's like, well, I mean, seriously, but I think I see people do that all the time. I mean, I meet a lot of really fascinating people at conventions that then Facebook friend me, and my idea is I almost never respond to Facebook posts or to emails sent to me on Facebook.
I actually get very surprised whenever you comment on anything that I do.
It's very rare, and it's very rare because, and it's not. And it's the idea out of fairness. It's not that I'm not interested. It's that I know that if I post something on this person's thing, I'm going to have to post on everybody's, and I simply don't have the time. Yeah. It's simply a question of time. It's not that I don't like this stuff or I hate you people, anything like that. I love all of you. It's just that if I answered every email or responded to every chat or IM.
Exactly.
Or liked or commented on every post or thing I'm tagged in, I would have absolutely no personal life at all. My every waking moment would be overdetermined by checking my Facebook. And I hate that. I hate computers as it is. I refuse to be bullied by them. And Facebook is not going to entice me. God damn it. And so I struggle every day. And it's not Facebook's fault. It's the fact that, a lot of people meet me but like I was saying about high school, I have great fun at conventions and I love, hobnobbing with people and getting to meet new people that I would never, ever get to cross paths with, if it weren't for these conventions. I mean, they really are one of the best things about what I get, if not the best thing I get to do for a living is the convention circuit. I love it. But then I come home and, a lot of these people try to Facebook me and it's like, well, no, I'm done with the convention. I need time. I need space. I need solitude. I need to not be in con mode for a while so I can recuperate. And if Facebook, if I start taking it seriously and like posting everything, it's like I'm still at the con. And it's like a kid that can't get away from high school even when they're home because it just follows them on the web. And it's just, it drives you nuts.
I don't think people really get how draining conventions are because it's like,
they are
4 days of socializing, whether it's with your peers, with fans, with staff.
If you aren't hoarse, you more than likely can't do recording for a while. Yeah. You got to sleep. You're on a different sleep schedule. I mean, some people can organize stuff, but I'm just like, no, if you want me there, cool. But like, I'm not on my schedule because, I'm a guest at that convention. I'm not there to just hang out. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Yes, I'm with you.
But take our experience at cons, which is perfectly valid, and take that. I think that's every kid's experience of school now. Only now it's like they go home and it's still with them. There's no way to get away from it. So all the hard, so on the plus side, anything good going on at school has a longer shelf life because it, extends into your personal life a little more than it did, a generation ago. But all the bad shit does too. I mean, all the bullying and all the horrible drama that shit follows you home now. yeah.
Cyberbullying. That's insane.
It's just I see that
the fact that a cyborg is out there bullying people.
Bullying everyone.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
There's a cyborg out.
He's gonna bully the shit out of your kid.
Hey, you know what? Bullies are basically fucking robots anyway. Fuck them. I mean, they're just fucking.
I saw y'all's bully
with bad programs.
Video. That was so cool.
It was a lot of fun to do, and I think
it was really an honor to get to do.
I think and we've mentioned it before, but like when Steven did his, we were like, "Fuck, this is real!"
Fuck, this is
yeah.
I loved it. I thought that was great.
I did too.
I saw it last week. I think
from the heart. It was
my friend Alex shot it for us, and his lighting kit. It looks all official. And then when I was editing it together, I'm like, "Holy crap, this is insane!" But yeah, we all did very good. I think.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. I think it's great that whole campaign of having people that kids look up to saying things like "it gets better."
I like the
when I was in high school, I would have liked that. I think I would have played that over and over again and be like, okay, it's gonna be fine.
It's important, right? It's important.
No, it totally is. I would think it would be helpful.
I can't remember having a role model when I was a kid that spoke directly to the experiences I was having. I mean, we all have role models.
Someone like asking for you to communicate, and like you can't like make me tell you what's wrong. Like I want to be able to converse with you, and a lot of us, if we felt bullied, which I know I sure as fuck did.
Oh, yeah.
And again,
me too.
I think I became a bully because of that too a bit. But you don't want to talk to anybody that's like, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to feel like I can go to you without you telling me like I should go to you. And I didn't have that person.
Most of us don't. Most of us didn't.
But I talked to strangers that I knew I would never see again.
It's very strange how that works. I mean, I mean, bullying has always been around, and sadly, I don't think it's going to go anywhere because bullying is just a sad fact of life. But I think for a multitude of reasons, maybe young people are less equipped and know how to deal with it than they used to be.
Because they're socially awkward.
Because they're socially, I don't even say socially awkward, just socially untrained. Like they're not skilled in how to deal with really complex emotions that come up in a social sphere because they're not given a lot of opportunities to deal with them.
Exactly.
And it's not their fault. It's really the society that has failed them because we've not given them.
It's not something that we address until something's happened. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To navigate complicated social atmospheres. And that's the thing, when you're in high school especially, it's like life is really simple when you're in high school from an adult standpoint.
Yeah.
We tend to idealize, we're like, oh, things were simple. You didn't have to worry about this, that, and the other. You kind of take it.
If I could only go back.
If I can only go back.
Oh,
but
God,
the truth is,
never go back. Ever. Would you go back?
But I think under,
I would go back and there's some things I would change, but
oh yeah, there's a lot of things I would change.
I wouldn't go back and
some days I feel like I would keep everything because I own it as part of who I am. It's part of what made me who I was, and even though it was unpleasant, the whole point is to be able to look back and be like, pain, pleasure, there was all of it, but I'd keep all of it because it's who I am. It's that great Irish saying: "Is this you have to treat life like is this a bar? Is this a private fight, or can anyone get in?" That's kind of what it is. You just have to take everything and own it. Pain and love, just really part of the same continuum, really. But I mean, kids. It worries me that kids. I mean, by nature, kids are very sensitive creatures. I mean, I know I was terribly sensitive when I was a kid. And, the least thing anyone says, whether it's intended or not, can so sting. And because when you're, when you're in high school, you are all the adults that are around you, without necessarily always meaning to, though sometimes they fully intend you to take this away from what they tell you. They give you the impression that this is how life is always going to be. The friends you have now will be the friends you always have. The enemies you have now will be the enemies you always have. Your grid. This is going. I mean, how many times did you hear from a principal or from a teacher? This is going on your permanent record. Like
never.
That fucking means anything. What is a permanent record? There is no such thing. The CIA does not have a record of your grades. Or how many times you were in detention.
Are you sure? You promise?
Well, maybe they have it, but I can tell you right now, they don't give a fuck. True. There's not somebody reading it right now going,
Tatum's going to get arrested, so I see you were late for...
Yeah. So I see, I'm gonna be at a job interview someday, like, and for a really important interview, and someone's like, well,
what's up with the
you cannot enter Canada.
Miss Sudbury, your 4th grade math teacher says that you didn't turn your homework that one time, and that does make me question your qualifications for the present position. Like, that shit does not happen.
Thank God.
Now there are extremes.
Which is why I wish I was high school homeschooled. That would have been so much easier.
But I mean,
then just gone to college.
I went to college with a bunch of homeschooled people.
That's for sure.
They were awkward.
Really?
Socially, but they're often very brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of what they know.
Oh, yeah.
It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. I would rather be brilliant than socially.
I taught after-school theater classes, and my homeschool kids that were 7 years old, they were so mature and just so well behaved. And
they were
usually
my public school kids that they made you deal with, like when it's like, okay, like really, we're going to spend 6 weeks on painting, like finger painting. Really, we could be doing much more.
I think for the most part, I think junior high and high school are bullshit, and I mean bullshit socially. I think it's a shame that we subject kids to them, and I'll tell you why. My theory is this: I think from a standpoint from a certain age, seriously, from about the age nowadays. The only kind of job you can get career-wise are jobs that take a great deal of time to gain experience or education or training in order to get. So most of us are not qualified to be valued members of any kind of workforce until we are in our 20s, at least. And there are many jobs or types of careers where it takes much longer. Like if you want to be a doctor, an architect, or in law or something like that, 30s. So incidentally, you have this huge window of time in your life from your early teens until your early 20s when society just doesn't fucking know what to do with you. They can't hire you into positions of any leverage because you are a liability, because you don't know shit. You are untrained and inexperienced, so you're not going to have, so there's no real jobs out there for you. And this is why teenagers work like jobs in grocery stores or waiter and waitresses jobs. They're movie theaters, like that. Jobs that really don't, that are not
strip
career
clubs,
jobs, things like, whatever. This is why teenagers do that. But the thing is, it's like, so society just has this huge class of people, teenagers between, these kids between the ages of like 15 and 23 that they just don't know what to do with. And so for at least 4 of those years, they just kind of stick them in a building just to give them something to do. Just get them out of our fucking hair. We can't employ them. We can't, do anything else with them. So we're just going to kind of, put them away for a little while. Give them something. Give them something to do for 8 hours a day, so they're out of your hair, and then they go home to their parents, and then their parents' problems. But for God's sakes, get them off the streets. Get them out of our shops filling out applications because we can't hire them all. No. And so so school is not really about teaching kids shit. It really isn't. I think that there's a lot of teachers that try really desperately to teach them despite the system. But I think good teachers really know what they're up against and fight against the system as much as.
For every one good teacher, there are 5 that don't give a shit.
Easily, totally. If not more.
Ugh.
But
so we're talking about teachers before the show. Yeah.
So kids. So what you're left with is a bunch of teenagers in this building together, and they're not. The thing is, what happens in any group, there's many studies that have supported this, any group of people of whatever age group, you get them together and they're going to form a pecking order. There's going to be, a pecking order of, this person is the most important, this person calls a shot, this person, these are the drones. And there's all the subtle gradations of class in between. Here's the thing. When a group of people like that is given a directed goal, like we're all working towards this end, like we're going to build this city, or we're going to, or we're going to
on rock and roll.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. But when a group is given an objective, of some kind, the hierarchy tends to reflect reality a little better. It's not, in other words, it's not just a fucking popularity contest. Yeah. Now the person that's calling the shots is the person that's most qualified to call the shots, and the people beneath him and so forth. Everyone has a very specific job, and it's not a class thing so much as it is a hierarchy that gets the job done as quickly as possible, and everybody benefits. But when there's fucking nothing to do, when it's just, we're putting you, we're corralling you all together like cattle, then it becomes a popularity contest. And that's why kids in school, for the most part, it becomes this very clear hierarchy of, here are the popular kids, and the popular kids tend to be the prettiest ones.
But we didn't have that. But you were in a smaller town.
I was in a smaller town.
I graduated with 500 people, and there were cliques, but there wasn't they're the most popular person in school. blah blah blah.
Well, it wasn't that obvious with us either, but there were definitely the popular kids, and then there were cliques. There were like the stoners and the
freaks,
ropers,
the soccer players, the cheerleaders,
and the athletes, and all this, and they all did kind of fit into this weird sort of wibbly wobbly hierarchy, and there were and there was definitely the adults. Even if the kids did not necessarily admit that, that person's definitely, top dog or whatever, the kids would never say that, but the adults would definitely recognize the hierarchy. And so these kids who were popular, those were the kids that got more benefits.
Let's do some research.
Those were the kids. I mean,
let's
it's
just go to
true,
schools
right?
uninvited.
But I mean, but the idea is that, when you have just this vapid popularity contest that is responsible for shaping the hierarchy that goes on in high school, all that hierarchy as a reflection of is the very immature desires and fears and anxieties of teenagers. Yeah. And those are things we will all grow out of at some point.
Yep.
You will shed them. And so being led to believe by all the adults that are there that this is how life is always going to be is horribly misleading. Because it's not. You grow out of it, and all the popular people go on to be perfectly normal people. They go on to be very little fish and very big ponds.
Like if you get them all back together, like that was weird last weekend. Is to be around people. They're like, well, I'm like, oh, you look really familiar, and they're like, well, I don't expect you to. No, my reunion's not till like later this year. And Sabrina and I were talking about that. We both graduated same year. But my friend Mark, he kind of lost touch with everybody, and he's, I want to see, and it turned out a bunch of people that I graduated with, like my friend Emmanuel, like I only see him like every couple of years, but we've known each other since 7th grade, blah, 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 blah. But seeing people like going like, you look familiar. They're like, I don't expect you to remember my name because I was a freshman when you were a senior. And I'm like, what's that, Matt? I asked you what your name was. Like I was giving you an out, but this one girl's like, she kind of resorted back to how me being a senior and her being a sophomore, like blah, blah, blah. We talked differently, and I'm like, this is weird. This is very weird. But I think the weirdest thing is someone's like, how come we don't hang out together anymore? And my response was, because we're not locked in a fucking building together anymore.
See? But that is exactly my point, though. It's you are forced to deal with people that you would never choose to deal with most of the time. And then you go out in the real world, and then, whatever. And hierarchies form the real world, too. But at least then they center around more of your own abilities and not just like, well, I don't know, do something. It's less a popularity contest. You can always tell real jobs of value from jobs that are just fucking pointless and useless, and how much they reflect how things worked in high school. Jobs where things are a popularity contest, and the person that gets, the big corner office or whatever, the nice car and the great home, and only because they're popular and not because they have any genuine achievement or ability behind them. That's where you're like, holy. And not to say anything against teachers, because I come from a long line with them, but my father once made this wonderful observation. He's like, well, of course, that's what teachers are telling kids, because for them, their whole life has been school.
Yeah.
And when you stop and think about that, it is true. And it is the rare teacher that can transcend that and see school for what it is and not just the only life they've known. I think that's the beginning of what makes a good teacher a good teacher. But I could go on forever about this subject, so I'm very passionate about it.
No, I like it.
In other words, kids, it's okay. High school is not fucking life.
It really gets better.
It gets better,
it totally gets better. I mean, it totally gets better.
Don't do it.
You won't be locked. You won't be locked in a fucking building 8 hours a day with all these people for much longer.
It won't matter what you're hanging in your locker.
You know what? I thought people
that wasn't a big deal.
Was it? Because I got made fun of. Like when they're like, first of all, do not go to your locker unless you want to get the shit kicked out of you.
What?
Yeah, I went to Sam Houston High School. Woo!
Because only nerds
don't go to your locker.
Don't go to your locker. You want to get of course, I went to my locker because Jesus, you have A and B day classes. That's like the 8 classes. They were split up in 4 classes each day, A day, B day, and that's 8 classes, 8 different books. These books are fucking heavy. And
you don't want to carry that around.
And if you scrape, scratch them and stuff, you have to pay for it. So put them in a locker, but no, instead I had a huge backpack because that's where the bullies and stuff would take the kids to be. That's where the cameras can't be for some reason.
Or they couldn't be
near the lockers. So yeah.
I guess
I'm sure it's changed now. I mean,
no.
seriously, Google Sam Houston High School right now. That's all I'll tell you.
Okay, Leah, most annoying thing about high school that you remember in terms of like what you were required to do, like
Most
for you,
annoying?
like particular, like did your high school have some weird thing like you can't wear red on Tuesday or something? I mean,
The stupid dress codes. You couldn't wear
we
flip
had dress
flops.
codes.
what's that?
I think we had dress codes.
We had dress codes too.
That was
they
annoying.
got laxer as my years wore on, but they were pretty stupid all the same.
I feel like when you and I talk about our high school experiences, not because of age, but because yours was smaller, like you guys might have
mine was a bit smaller.
different rules. Like, is there anything that stood out?
Yeah. There's a few things that stood out. I mean, the dress. You bring up the dress code. And the dress code was one of them, and I can't. I mean, you couldn't have long hair until if you were a guy.
Where did you go to high school?
McKinney High School.
Oh.
And when I was there,
bigger now,
90 between 90 and 92, you couldn't have long hair, but they relaxed that, and that's when I started growing my hair out because I had really long hair. Fresh out of high school, I had hair almost like my waist, and because I was like going to go crazy, you know. And but they had a weird dress code, like guys couldn't have earrings and things like that, and you couldn't wear shirts with what was the criteria? You couldn't wear shirts that had anything
Depicting alcohol or beer,
or
beer,
drugs, or drugs. But you also couldn't have anything on your shirts that was potentially provocative to anyone else. So I know that like seniors one year, like they had the senior club or whatever had shirts that said "Seniors Kick" and it was an arrow pointing to their butts, and that was considered
That's funny.
controversial. Yeah, I thought it was clever, but they were not allowed to wear them because it was considered controversial. Because people are looking at your butts now.
Remember,
really very crazy
I was
stuff.
in high school when the Make 7 Up Yours campaign with the Make 7 on the back that said Up Yours. I got OCS for the entire day for wearing that shirt because there were a few OCS on campus.
Okay.
Or
not after school suspension. We always called it ACS, after school suspension, which was still on campus.
Couldn't wear even like a headband. Like if it was too wide, couldn't wear it because it was considered a bandana. Flip flops, couldn't wear flip flops. Because God forbid if you run, you're dead. You are dead. When you wear flip flops, you are making the conscious decision that I hope I do not get attacked today.
Or if I do, that I will be eaten.
I will be eaten. Oh, unless you're Clive Owen in that one movie where he just wears nothing but flip flops. But
that's Clive Owen.
It is Clive.
No one's Clive Owen, but Clive Owen.
I guess the outrageous hair colors. You
couldn't dye your hair.
Couldn't dye your hair.
My big thing with mine, though, apart from the dress code, and I'll say this: a couple of years after I graduated, I still had friends in high school there, and this is the time when the Columbine tragedy happened, and so I was aware of this going on. I graduated in '94, so this is about 2-3 years after that.
I think I was a freshman or about to be a freshman.
But like there was this big fucking PTA meeting where all the parents were getting together talking about this. Everyone across the country did. But this particular group of people were just adamant that the school outlaw black trench coats.
What?
Yes. Oh, I remember that.
A lot of schools did this, but from what I understand, someone rather ranking on the school board at the time of this town. Right?
Matrix had just come out and all that stuff.
Yeah. Someone got up and said, because some kid, and their parents said, "This is ridiculous. You're acting like they did this because they were wearing black trench coats."
Yeah.
So like this is somehow going to
good.
By forcing them to wear polo shirts is going to fundamentally change who they are somehow, and this is just this is a testament to the quality of people that were calling the shots in this PTA meeting. The ranking member of the school board stood up and said, "Ma'am, we all know that if these kids had been wearing polo shirts and khakis, that they would not have been the type of kid to do this."
Wow.
Which makes no sense. Makes no sense at all.
Give me your logic on that. Or actually, because it was also around the same time. Okay, no, I was in the 8th grade. Like I said, I got suspended for... I wasn't ever got suspended or anything like that for wearing things. You could not wear any shirt that had Marilyn Manson on it.
Oh yeah.
At random? Why?
Because, he was, his music was, if you watch Bowling for Columbine, he was one of the people that was brought up as, like a character, he's the reason why our kids are blah, blah, blah.
It was really funny.
That's silly.
The kids also listened to Wagner and Schoenberg.
Yeah.
But parents don't know who the fuck those people are, So they listen to Wagner and they're like, "Oh, okay, so never mind."
Well, and then
they're not
the
allowed to read Norse mythology either. Or it's fucking stupid. But that's another thing about my school that pissed me off is the books they would ban. They banned
12th Night.
They banned what's that?
They banned a lot of Shakespeare.
Oh, they never. Wait,
at your school?
Really?
Frankenstein, mean,
they banned
Dracula just because of the movie, not the fucking book. That is the most boring fucking book.
Oh, it's a horrible book. I hate that fucking book. That
man does not know how women speak. But anyway,
he doesn't know how humans speak.
This is Mina. I'm like, what?
But no, they banned Dracula. They banned Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
They banned Huckleberry Finn.
Like Google like the banned book. Hopefully it's gotten better since then, but who knows? As far as
they banned Dracula one year. I was in an AP English class, and they banned Dracula because we wanted to read it, knowing it was a bad book. All of us in this class, 12 of us in this AP class, and it was a really fun class. Like we would sit down and talk about literature. Like it wasn't just like read this and do a report on it. We would sit down and have really impassioned debates about what we had read. It was really, I missed this class, and our teacher was really awesome. Well, she wanted to read, because the movie was coming out, she's like, well, it'll be interesting to read this book as a kind of a cultural artifact, not because it's a good piece of literature, but it does cast a very long shadow in the most, arguably the most important artistic medium of our own era, and that's the movies. So we should read the book to kind of see where it all started. And well, parents caught wind of this. No, we don't want you reading that book because there's like sex and Satan and all that stuff in it. And we're like, yeah, we're totally going to be inspired to go out and be vampires now.
Well, I read this, so it must be all right to do.
So we, I totally want to be a vampire now because that's the thing you can be. It's like people banning Harry Potter because they think it's like, okay, they're banning Harry Potter because you think your kids are going to learn spells from it, because none of the spells in there actually work.
Try it, I dare you. You'll just look funny.
But
like if that works, please call me.
But, I've stuck my head out the window night after night waiting for a white owl to fly in, and it's never happened. Ever. Right. So,
but they banned Dracula, and we had to choose something else to spend our semester on. And so our teacher chose Middlemarch by George Eliot, which is a phenomenal fucking book, much more difficult. But you talk about if any of the parents on that fucking board had been literate and had read even a scrap of this fucking book, they would have preferred we read Dracula naked in each other's company, like under red lighting, before we had even fucking scratched the surface of Middlemarch, because Middlemarch is one of the most disillusioning books of, love, marriage, society, all of that shit comes under the microscope, and none of it survives in that book. And it's a brilliant book because of it. But like that, if any book undermined the values the PTA would prefer us students to walk away from school with, it was this book versus Dracula. Dracula, the worst we're going to do is dress in black and misuse big words
and bite people for no reason.
Bite people and drink tomato juice. but like that's
the only thing Dracula taught me how to do was to kind of pretend something's like, oh, did you hear the wolf escape from the zoo? Like shit like that. That's all I would fucking do. Oh, like taking a walk. Did you hear that? Oh man, bullshit. Did you hear?
But what about you? Annoying shit that happened when you were in high school that just fucking other than just being a teenager, that clued you into how fucking stupid it was.
Well, I had really liked my high school in particular. Yeah. I liked the way it was run.
You're not from Texas.
No, I actually got really weirded out about some things that were up in Texas that didn't happen in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I'm from. So I didn't really have anything annoying. Other than just the normal teenager stuff, I really liked our teachers were really good. That was very fair.
Maybe it's like just us.
Albuquerque is kind of like the melting pot of whatever. There's just things
it's more cosmopolitan.
Yeah. It's just like, it's so laid back and like things like, I think the thing that was most shocking to me when I came to Texas was when someone would talk about a friend of theirs and they would throw in, oh, and they're gay. Oh, and they're black. Or something like that.
They have to qualify the person?
Like that's this label. By the way, don't be surprised when you find this person is gay.
Well, it would just be like part of the description. Whereas where I came from, like that was never a case. No. Like, you just talk about your friend. Like, this is my friend Terri, and blah, 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 blah. Like, you would never say.
I actually got the opposite. It's really? Like, these guys were following me to my car, and they're like, what color were they? I'm like, white? Like, why did I have to qualify that? Because if they weren't white, that's when we would have done something. Like, what? They were following me. I don't care what color they are. Like, if you want me to describe them, but what? Like, stuff like that. Yes.
No. The only thing that kind of sucked.
Qualifiers.
Yeah. Oh, well, she happened
because she's a redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had like gangs in Albuquerque. That was annoying. So there was
gangs?
There was a lot of gangs.
Like Crips, Bloods.
Mm-hmm. So I remember there was like a wave of like certain things you couldn't wear because it was gang related.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
So that was annoying.
Did you have that?
We didn't.
You couldn't wear a blank red or a blank blue.
Mm-hmm. You couldn't wear your hat. You couldn't wear like certain buttons or something like that. It was very strange.
It was weird. It was only the only thing similar to the gang thing that came up was the trench coat mafia thing, but that was after I'd graduated, and people that wore black trench coats were considered, after the Columbine thing, they were considered the trench coat mafia. That became kind of like the watchword for people that might go crazy and kill a bunch of kids.
Well, that's what the courtyard was, where you saw all the groups during lunch or whatever. Although drama club, we all ate in the black box, so we wouldn't get the shit kicked out of us. We went and got our food.
We did that too.
Yeah, and then we went to the black,
a little special place.
Yeah, that's where you just go hide.
That's where you go hide.
It's a safe place.
I mean, all except for my freshman year when I was still figuring out what group I was going to be a part of. Like, I hung out a lot with the Bosnian exchange students, namely Elvira Fodolovic.
Fodolovic.
Elvira Fodolovic from Bosnia, and her birthday was Halloween.
That's cool.
I'm like, oh my god, it's fucking cool. You meet Elvira, and your birthday's on her. She's like, I don't get why it's funny, but okay.
Where is she from?
Bosnia. Yes,
Elvira
Fodolovic, and there was a lot of Bosnian shit. So I hung out with them a lot, and then I'm like, I want to join theater. And they're like, go hang out in theater then. And I'm like, I'm being rejected by the Bosnian exchange. But no, it was that. But you saw there was a corner where the freaks, and I'm using finger quotes because I didn't consider, but they all wore black and had heavy eyeliner, and the Hot Topic. It was still really hard to find the hardcore stuff that people at Hot Topic buy now. But so it was even more detailed, or they made this bullet necklace and shit like that.
Yeah,
but they were always
if you were wearing a band T-shirt, it's because you'd been to a concert and paid $35 for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not back.
You kids don't know how easy you got it with your Hot Topics and your Paxons.
Oh my god.
All right.
We've still got off on a tangent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Speaking of, we will get to questions after the break.
We're going to focus all on you, sweetheart.
Yes.
You.
Oh no, that's part that scares me.
And during the break, we'll get naked.
If the giraffe can hang on this long.
All right.
You'll be
Can you name this giraffe, please?
I
would really like you to name him.
This, he will be named Arcturus.
Arcturus?
Arcturus, that is.
Okay, I'm going to take a picture of him and put him on my Twitter after you air this.
As long as it's not food, we can take a picture of it.
Well, it could be food, I mean.
Arcturus? Is that what you said his name?
Arcturus.
You're going to have to tell me how to spell that.
A-R-C... Wait. A-R-C-2... Wait.
Two?
What language? Where are you from? Two.
Sorry, the planet Leet. Arcturus, how would you spell that? A-R-C...
T-U-O-U-S?
T-U-O-U-S, yeah. I think that's
Arcturus. Did you just make up that name?
No, it comes from somewhere, but I don't know where.
Okay.
Arcturus. Maybe I did make it up.
What's his middle name?
Oh,
he's gonna. Well, yeah, this is a first middle. That's a 3-namer right there.
Yeah, I would. Okay, let's say Arcturus.
Gerard.
Gerard. I like Gerard. Let's go with Gerard.
I think Gerard.
Arcturus. Gerard.
Tatum.
Tatum? Oh, is he related to me?
Yeah, he's your baby.
Oh, well, if he's a Tatum, he needs 5 other names.
That's true.
I'll have to come up with that. So.
All right. To be continued.
Okay, bye.
Twat. Twatter.
That's
twatter. I'm a twatter.
Website.
I twatted.
That was a beta test of Twitter. It did not do well.
Yeah.
Or it did very well.
Right.
Twat. Too well. So when someone pokes you,
what's the icon for twatter?
So the equivalent of poking someone, is that a queef? I just queefed you.
Did you just make a queef noise?
That was a terrible queef noise, but I don't know what they sound like. Well, how do they sound?
Oh, I can do it actually.
Are you? Oh my god! Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were about to actually do ginger fruit. I'm like, no. This is.
Hold on, it's with your hands. Wait, I don't know if it's like a.
Oh, that one was nasty.
It's just my cheeks, by the way. We're all trying to make twat now. Sound.
Oh, we should
say twat. All right.
Let's take turns. Let's each do our best twat queef.
Twat queef.
Twat queef.
All right, you go first then, madam.
Here you go. It's just. Okay.
That was mine. That was mine.
We really hit our stride in the first part of the show. Huh? We hit our stride in the first part of the show.
That's
yours?
That's a jogger?
That's not good. That's a jogger with needs some cranberry juice.
What the fuck?
That's a jogger that with some fix-a-flat issues.
Okay, No, that's just parting. I like what I did earlier. It's just a very saggy cheek, like it's an Orson Welles cheek. It's very subtle.
Them curtains is parting.
That is like those are some curtains.
Yeah,
that's Jenna Jameson twat.
That's like a fucking proscenium arch of vag you got going on there. If you can make that noise.
Hello. I don't have it going on. This is just my mouth.
I don't have it either. I've never done that in my life. I've just heard. That's what it sounds like.
You've never actually queefed?
No.
Never? No? Have you? No?
I gave that up, dude.
You gave it up? Is it something you gave up? I didn't realize it was something you control.
If you've been trying, you're like, these Kegel exercises are doing nothing. If I can't.
Mysteries of the female anatomy resolved right here for me. Thank you so much. I've been in the dark for so long.
It doesn't suit me.
That's why
I was blind, but now I see.
That's why we quit trying to use Twitter and switched to Twitter.
What is happening to us?
What is happening? What is my life about?
Okay, I know that there are kids listening. I know this. But I'm sorry. But there is an explicit...
Don't lie. You're not sorry.
I'm not.
I'm not sorry.
And again, I've mentioned it before about meeting someone. It was like, she was like 13 and she's like, listen to the show. And I like saw her mom in the back and her mom's like cross-armed, like, I'm like, hi.
Not as sorry as I am, you little bitch.
You're the one that doesn't watch what she's downloading on iTunes. Brick. Bad form.
Hey,
Brick
I will
house.
say this right now. There is nothing I say now that I don't think every child should hear.
Like twatter.
Well, why not? Why not? They're going to encounter the word one time, but at least we're helping them be the cool kid that knows all the things they're not supposed to know.
That has all the answers.
That has all the answers. That knows what all the curse words mean.
First time you heard twat. Because I thought it was such a weird...
Twat was not in free circulation when I was a kid. It didn't really become a thing until recently in my life. No, I mean, the first...
Twat wasn't in fashion.
It really was not. It was not in fashion. We never used
even
twat.
Like with your British... Like, twat.
No, I never encountered twat until I was over there. And, you know, when I was 18. But that was after high school. You twat. I like the word twonk. Which is
twonk is funny.
Twonk is one of my favorites, but I didn't hear that till very recently.
I didn't know that. But it's someone like someone's trying to annoy you. Like, dude, just listen. No, can't hear you. Well, say twat. I can't hear you. And I thought it was the most clever fucking thing ever.
I can't hear you. I've got an ear infection.
There you go.
Yeah.
With your creativity, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of that acronym?
No.
Creativity, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
I've heard "See You Next Tuesday."
See you next Tuesday.
That's from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Nice.
RuPaul's Drag Race is fun for a nice little...
Fabulous. It's fabulous.
But there was one time I was going to see Mike McFarland next Tuesday, and he FB'd me. He went, "See you next Tuesday." And an hour passed by, and he went, it was just... And I'm like, it's not even the real name. He's like, come on. That's funny.
Awesome. That is funny.
Or Sea Hunt. Sea Hunt. I've heard Sea Hunt. The old Lloyd Bridges show.
You can't always get what you want.
You can't always get what you twonk.
But you've tried sometimes. You just might find you get what you need.
You get what you need. Yeah.
Okay, enough of this.
Question.
Yes. Okay.
Well,
finally.
Let's answer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Mail call.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. Okay.
This may be your sound effect.
Bing,
let me see. Okay, I like
more.
Andrea. Let's start off goofy. Why not? Of course, you know.
Start off goofy. Yes.
Start off goofy.
Let's bring it down.
With the questions. With the questions.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe go Vanilla Ice. Good question.
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen.
Let's collaborate and listen. Okay, this is from Andrea. For all of you, if you could switch bodies with each other for 12 hours, who would it be, and what would you do in that time?
Michael Tatum, I would masturbate. A lot. I would pee standing up.
You answered that really fucking quick. You're like, I thought about this.
Wow. I am honored. Just please be gentle.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Be gentle.
it gets a lot of mileage, let me just say. So it requires a very sure hand.
Yeah.
You may be disappointed. You may wear out very quickly and go, God damn it, this is taking far too long.
Well, I would enjoy it, though.
Would you enjoy it? Okay,
yeah.
well then, I mean, I certainly do.
Thanks, Andrea.
But thank you. I would, well, on that note, let's just say I will give tit for tat, or tat for tit in this play. And I would be either one of you, actually, and I think I would just sit at home playing with my tits all day. I would be fascinated.
That's what we do. Anytime we don't have plans,
this is why men don't come with women breasts, because if they did, not move.
Sit home.
I mean, like, if
we
they
like to
had
just hold them and make them move to dance beats.
If men actually had these, gigantic silky milkies that you
Yep.
ladies have, that men would never get anything done. We would never leave the house.
Well, they're kind of annoying.
We talked about that, or you guys talked about that during the Ren commentary, because Ren's a boobylicious show.
Very boobylicious.
And like, sorry, can't go anywhere, got boobs.
Yeah. Sorry, can't go. Got boobs. Calling in a day. Calling in sick. Calling in boobs. I'm taking a boob day. Ladies and gentlemen, very sorry. That's what I would do. I'm curious. I would want to see what it was like to whichever one of you.
You have to pee
active.
sitting down.
That doesn't seem like a big deal to me.
Yeah.
But I might learn something.
I mean, you could be standing up, though. Won't be messing.
Yeah, I could physically pee while standing up, not be.
I'd be Tatum. I don't know what I'd do. Probably sleep with a lot of ladies and just be like, now you have to deal with that, motherfucker.
God damn you.
But then you'd have to get a BJ to figure out what it's all about.
Get a BJ.
Yeah. Just to figure out what it's all about. Like, what's the big deal?
What's it all about?
I think the weirdest thing about all this is I'm perfectly okay with that.
So basically, we're just helping each other out if we're switching bodies and being like, "You're welcome."
It's like it's for science. It's for science.
If I were either
actually,
of you
if I
ladies,
were a dude, I don't think I could do a lady. Like that.
No,
weird.
I would.
Or a dude.
In your bodies, I would go and do every straight man I've had a crush on for years that I can't get because they're not gay. I'd be like, hey, well now
that we haven't pissed off.
That you haven't pissed off. Yeah.
So it's a short fucking list. Sir.
Yeah. So it's a good thing it's only 12 hours. Otherwise, I'd just be bored after a while, going, God, someone else who's just told me to fuck off. And that's good question. Good question.
Yeah.
This is like a bad Disney film waiting to happen.
It's Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday. Okay, so that was Andrew's question. Let's see.
Holding boobs. Yes, boobs.
This is from Jean. Or maybe Jean. Maybe they're Scandinavian.
Jean Levy.
This is, let's see, I've gathered from previous episodes that, that today's guest, what?
It's worded a little weird. Thanks, Jean.
Sorry, Jean. Sorry, Jean.
Called out.
No, she's a sweetheart.
Let's see. Okay, basically your texts occasionally come up during recordings, basically that you ladies, Terri and Leah, hang out rather often. And you've texted that. It's been intimated by many texts that you've received while we're recording.
We sext each other, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If memory serves correctly, Terri and Tia even went on television to get hypnotized at the behest of Miss Clark. What became of that?
Excellent word.
Yes. What became of that? Did you ever see that hypnotist again?
Well, you and I saw him.
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. Flip Orley, which is a hilarious name.
Flip me orally.
But yes, no, we were doing karaoke a couple days before that, and Leah's like randomly asking like, "Who wants to get hypnotized?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." She's like, "No, I really need Rob needs help." I'm like, yeah, no." Just but it eventually she wore me down. She sexted me enough.
I did. Flashed her.
Yeah, she well, actually we were karaokeing, so we were being very sexy, clearly, at Korean karaoke. But it got to the point where I'm like, dude, okay, if I do this, you can never question our friendship ever. Ever. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, but Tia's coming with me. Like, I made Tia stay the night so she couldn't back out. Like, oh, I can't make it. I'm like, no, you're staying at my house and we are going together. There's no
you basically
fucking way.
Kidnapped her.
Basically.
Sequestered her.
I love that the question came up why do you want us to do this so bad? Why wouldn't you do it? Well, because I'm scared. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, I'll do it. Really? I wouldn't do it.
But you guys totally should. It'd be great. It'd be so much fun.
Well, Tia, who's very she was very camera shy. You could see it, but she's the one that really got hypnotized. Although she's saying now that she didn't. But she couldn't remember her name. She couldn't remember her name. Like, I remember looking at Rob and he's like mouthing, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, yeah. But, and everyone's like, "Why didn't you?" And I'm like, "Because I'm a stubborn ass. Conscious." Yeah. Hello. But yeah, then a couple days later, Leah got tickets from Rob because Rob wasn't going to go. He's like, the guy shows up occasionally. So I think he's been before or something. And Leah and I made a date out of it. Got some sushi.
You went out on a date?
Mm-hmm, sushi. We went to the show.
Sushi.
Sushi.
Okay, but it got to the point where they're like, we need 10 or 15 volunteers. And I'm like, Leah, I did. She's like, so she's thinking about it, like twirling a drink. She's like, I don't know. And then like there were enough people. She's like, oh no, I can't. I'm like,
yeah, I was going to go. I fully intended to run down there and get hypnotized to pay back, but it was too late.
Recently went to a holiday party where the main attraction was a stage hypnotist.
Oh, those are so fun.
Thing, right? It was fucking hilarious.
I think that'd be cool. You're a little more relaxed.
Oh, no. It was cheesy as hell. Yeah. Because it was, I can't give too many details away because it wasn't really my party. And I was it was, but it's a party that, let's just say a lot of the people would not have come to this party had it not been required of them. Ooh. So it was not like, a bunch of friends. It was a bunch of people that were like, put together by compulsion. And it was hilarious because this poor guy, and I don't remember his name, and he did a fantastic job given the audience he had to work with, because there was like 30 of us, and of course he needed like 12 people on stage, and everyone was like, I'm not doing this. Nope. Like it took half the show was him just trying to coerce people to come up on stage, so like it was hilarious. And of the 12 or so people he had up there, only two. Well,
that's why they asked for such a big number.
Actually, were supposedly went under hypnosis, but I also called shenanigans because I'm watching these people and I'm like, they're not really hypnotized. They're just trying to please this guy. Yeah. And I think that was a big part of it. I think hypnotism works. I think
no, it does.
I think you can tell, though, if they're faking it or not. In a controlled environment. Because there was a giant fucking douchebag that got up there just to be a dick. Yeah, and he was pretending.
But then finally, the guy goes, "Sir, you can sit down." And he's like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, you can sit down." I'm Flip Borley.
Yeah, like, I've seen this a couple of times. I know you're not really hypnotized.
Yeah. But for TV, like, when me and Tia did it, God couldn't send me home. And so of course, I get a text from Tatum. He's like, "You look so fucking over it."
So I'm watching this going, this is hysterical. Like, this is great television because I'm getting to see Terri just roll her eyes and try not to laugh her ass off.
I was trying to look interested.
No, it was funny because like the moment they zoomed in on you specifically, you just gave this little smirk like and you wouldn't have been able to tell if they weren't so close on you. If it was just as far away as it was the whole time.
I want to make that into an animated GIF that we can use as your profile shot.
Oh my God, let's do this.
For Facebook. It'd be awesome. Because it's an amazing shot.
Like the younger people, and I was sitting next to older people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "Are you?" They're like, "No." But at the actual show that Leah and I went to, and of course they had a 2-drink min, we're like, you'd have to have a min. For some of these fucking comedy acts that come through here. It was in the Highlands, Arlington Highlands Improv Center. So yeah, we were in the dueling pianos and we kept like, God, because the dueling piano singer, like, "God, please hurry up and start seating. Jesus Christ."
See, some people are just not a good subject for hypnotism.
No.
I cannot.
Really?
I've tried to be hypnotized like professionally, like in a one-on-one setting, and I just
for what? What did you want to get hypnotized for?
There's several things I wanted to. It was when I was younger, and it was kind of a therapy thing. I wanted to stop,
like
smoking
go back in your
back and
well, like Patrick, our friend Patrick, he got hypnotized to stop smoking.
Yeah, and it does work on some people. It did not work on me. I've never been able to be put on.
Yeah, I think you're too analytical.
I think that's why.
And that's why, like Colleen was like, "Let me know how it goes." I'm like, "It just didn't work." Like, I tried, but Tia, like, I looked at her and she just looked different. But now she's like, "No, I don't think I did." I'm like, "You were full of shit, Ballard."
I think she was.
I have seen people get hypnotized, and I'm like, I know you. That shit.
But
I've seen you get hypnotized. Like, that's occasionally, but it's like in a stage setting, it's so hard to do because I think when you're on stage like that in front of a bunch of people, you're so nervous being on stage. It's impossible to relax. So I think some people, there might be 1 or 2 people.
There
that
were
can
5,
really
I think, that actually stayed on stage.
But there are, of those 5, I think the people that actually do something do it because they want to. They don't want to look like the odd man out. So they're not genuinely hypnotized. They're going through the motions because they know it's expected of them, and they don't want to be the asshole that like gives up the the game.
I didn't want to on television, but even then he's like, try to bend your arm, and I'm like, bending my arm, bro.
Yeah. It's never been able to work on me. It's
well, they say that if you don't really space out, like if you're a space out kind of person, then you'll probably fall under hypnosis.
Yeah.
But if you're consciously aware and you're pretty
very
analytical, you're probably not going to do it.
See, like you, I don't know if you would have gotten hypnotized.
I think I would have. I think I'm one of those. They said that one of the signs that you'd be able to be hypnotized is if you have a lot on your mind and you're driving. If you're the type of person that will miss your exit, then you can definitely be hypnotized. And I'm definitely that person. Like if I'm like just intensely focusing on something,
it's easy for you to get tunnel visioned. In other words,
yeah,
right. I could see that being kind of a
but like
for being hypnotized.
My roommate did it and he fell under, and he said that what was weird is that he didn't think he fell under. Like he didn't think, oh, I'm hypnotized. Like
well, that's the thing is you're not supposed to like, oh my god, now I have no control over my body.
Yeah, so he said he didn't.
But you're open
he was
to
really
suggestion.
confused. Yeah. Like he wanted to do these things, and like he genuinely felt, motivated by it. But
like the guy that on the show that kept licking his finger and then touching Rob's forehead, I'm like,
he seemed like a plant.
You're a plant, sir.
He seemed like he was there.
But then it got like the producers were like, hey, it'd be really funny if in the middle of Rob's next segment, Rob says this so the guy can go walk over there. I'm like, yeah, because it would have taken Rob saying that. Just tell the guy to go over there. But
are you serious?
So in the middle of another segment that had nothing to do with hypnosis, he's like interviewing this guy that's talking about business travel. The guy interrupts the shot and
touches his
forehead. I wish I had a DVR.
And you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell that it was if he was real.
This was almost a year ago. This was in March.
It was.
Yeah.
But
oh, how time flies.
Oh, how time flies.
Okay, good question, Gene.
Yay.
So basically, yes, we did see him again, and Leah and I sexted afterward.
Yes, and go get hypnotized. It's fun.
It's fun.
I don't know it, but
like for me, it's just fun to watch people. It's like knowing that you are the designated driver. But everyone with you is going to get drunk. You're like, this is going to be an amazing night. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay.
Stop. No one likes a sicky Michael.
I'm not. I'm getting over it. I'm over the hump. I'm expectoring now, which is a good sign.
All right.
Apparently.
This is from Eric. There are 2 Erics, I think, on here, and I didn't.
2 Erics.
Surely.
Which one is it?
Christened Eric 1.
Okay. Eric 1 asks, and this is for all of us, what is something you've wanted to do for a long time but haven't been able to accomplish as of yet?
Make out with Michael Tatum.
It's not hard.
You don't count that one time in the elevator.
We never made out. I always tried to make out with him, and he was like, "No, I can't." Leah,
yeah, that's exactly how I did it. I was like, no, it was normally like, get off me. I'm gay. Get off me. No.
No, I'm just kidding. That's not my real answer. Go, you go.
What is
no,
something
we're gonna take that. That's your real answer.
Okay. What is something I wanted to do for a long time?
You better have a better one than that, because that's just pathetic. If that's a
I know,
life
that's
goal,
all I've ever had.
If that's a life goal, that's
I've
I
never...
have to question you as a person. Like you there are better things out there.
I'm really that pathetic.
I have always wanted to do, and it's something that like I've been talking about, but Idiot Abroad reminded me of it. I've always wanted to drive the complete Route 66.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be fucking awesome.
That would be awesome.
That's really cool.
That's a really cool goal. Mine's so cliched.
What is it?
I really want to ride
swim with dolphins.
No, I mean I'd love to do that, but and that's on my list. I'd love to swim with dolphins. There's a lot of things I want to do that I haven't accomplished yet, but I think one of the big ones is I really, really, really want to write a novel.
Yeah,
and I
you'd
just
be
haven't had
fucking
the
good
time
at it.
or the necessary willpower to do it yet.
Would you write under a pseudonym?
I don't know. Probably not. I might. It depends, really. I don't know. I don't really give much thought to my name, as weird as that sounds. I don't. I'm just like, whatever. If a publisher was like, well, yeah, we're going to call you, like,
blah, blah, blah.
Xanthius Curveball. That's going to be, I'm like, I don't care.
Xanthius Curveball. From now on, ye shall be called.
You're picking the most random names to commit to.
Curveball.
I like that. That's a good name. Maybe that can be one. If the giraffe here, if Gerard is really, if Arcturus Gerard Tatum is going to be a Tatum, he needs several more names.
So Xanthius has to
So Xanthius, yeah, in a Roman numeral. So Xanthius, Xanthius Curveball. So his full name now is Arcturus Xanthius Gerard Curveball Tatum the Fourth.
How about
Junior.
5th. Or the 3rd.
No, he can't be a 5th.
He can't be a 5th?
It's already taken in my family.
Oh. So 4th. That's a 4th. Okay.
So
he kind of looks like a 4th.
He can be a 6th, actually. He should be a 6th.
Okay.
We don't have a 4th. We have
if the giraffe throws up, that must take forever.
What?
It must hurt. If a giraffe throws up, that must take forever. Sorry.
They throw up. Like, that shit goes...
They really do throw up. Get it?
It's like riding the Titan.
I would write a TV series.
That'd be sweet.
Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of doing it, but it's taking freaking forever.
Yeah, I think
it's not a quick process.
Time to do things like novel. It's not something I would just bust out during a rainy weekend or something. And when I've got nothing better to do, it's like it would take years for me to write what I want to write.
Yeah,
especially because I writing something not to deadline just to write it yourself fucking takes forever because you cannot let go of it. You cannot
if it's
ever be done.
Goal. Like I would love to direct a real movie, real. Like not to say that I don't love what I direct, anime related or whatever, but.
Yeah.
Like, even the stuff that I don't do that's anime related, that's industrial stuff. I'm like, there's no real art in that. Showing someone how to use an oven. Like, that, no. But, no, I would love to direct...
like feature.
Like an indie feature. Yes.
It's really cool.
That's cool.
I like that question.
Nice.
Good
I like
question,
this question,
Eric.
too. This is from Vicky. I like this one. This is, do you have any odd habits or quirks that don't make sense? For example, I always have to tap the wall above the 7th stair when I'm walking upstairs. It's kind of a neat little quirk. I like it. Very monkish. I have a bunch of quirks. I'll have to think about this. I'm
any particular
weird quirks. Do you have any weird quirks?
Yeah, I have one. It's really gross.
What is it? Go on.
No, I pick my cuticles.
Yeah.
Like, not just pick them, but if I get really OCD about if they're not even, then I will, like, literally, like, rip the skin out of my nail bed. I don't know, because a lot of times it happens, like, if I was at home when I noticed it, I would do that.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'm in traffic or I'm recording.
And you can't just let it be.
I can't get to anywhere, so I've just I'll just, like, it looks disgusting. It looks like I'm 17 and angry at life. Like,
Wow.
And I don't know where it came from, but that's one of them. It's one of the many. That's what I could think of right now because I'm doing it. So it's really creepy.
It's weird. Now, what do you just do it? Like, do you do it when you're nervous? You just do it whenever, or
it just whenever it shows up. Whenever the cuticle bed gets out of line, I just
so it's
do
really
it.
driven by what the cuticles look like. It's not like, like, oh my god, I'm hungry, but I can't eat, so I'm going to do this. It's not motivated by something else. It's not a surrogate for anything. In other words,
not really.
That's kind of weird though.
It's weird. I'll think of
of
something that's more interesting or not as
gross.
gross.
We could come up with several. I know I have several. You have one.
Well, it's something that I don't do now. But I used to. If I had a sandwich, I had to eat the crust completely first. Like I had to. Like the crust was an obstacle.
It's like taking.
You get to get it out.
I had to get it out of the way because growing up, we never got bread that was good for you. You got the bread that was on sale.
Am I making you sick?
Yes.
Is it already spreading as the
Oh my god!
Tatum's crop dusting me.
Crop dusting you makes it sound like I'm farting on you and walking away. That is what crop dusting means, not how just used it. Like,
no,
well, you're sitting across from me, so I figure.
But I'm not.
I'm gonna do the rest.
I guess
of the
you're
show.
not really crop dusting me.
Crop dusting you. Yeah.
The rest of the show, just my mouth is covered.
I have a picture of you like running like.
Now you look like Snape.
No, Snape's dead. Thanks for reminding me. There's that. It's a weird thing. Like I always posture my hands. People always mention, like, especially my pinky, but I'm incredibly double jointed throughout my entire body. But
really?
my hands, yeah.
Oh wow. Ew.
Yeah.
I know, isn't it freaky? It's
I've gotten out of classes for pretending like my thumb was broken. Like I can pop my hip bones and stuff out of place. I just can't. But like out of nervousness, like if I'm having trouble thinking, maybe you can hear it.
Oh, that's
my
finger gusting.
But yeah, no. So I do that. I posture my hands weird, but I don't know if that's an odd quirk. But I mean, I can just be like,
that counts.
Or whatever. But yeah,
that's weird. I like that. I have several. I have a question after this that's kind of related to that question.
Bring it.
Mine, and it's not the oddest thing I do. There's a bunch of odd things. It's hard to.
I can't really think of anything. So you must be doing them very.
I have no barometer for what is odd. I mean, because I don't. I'll do things that I think are perfectly normal, and people are like, that's really weird what you're doing. And I'm like, is it really? Fuck you. You know, and so I'm like, I don't, some people say odd. So for me, I think of odd things, and I'm like, well, you know, I sometimes like to go shopping for beer naked. I mean, I don't. But like, that, to me, that would be odd. But I mean, I think but when I stop and think about it, and sometimes they're so much a part of who you are that you don't even think about them anymore. They're almost involuntary. There is something I do, and I have always done this. I mean, as far back as I can remember, when I am walking somewhere, it doesn't matter how far, doesn't matter whatever, I arrange my pace so that, and this sounds so fucking weird, but it's true. I manipulate my pace so that by the time I go from B, the number of steps I have taken will be a multiple of 3.
What?
And it's weird, and there's something very disorienting when I don't do it. So if I'm walking somewhere, like to an elevator.
Only when you're walking.
Only when I'm walking.
Like not when jogging or.
No, well, I don't really jog. It's hard to.
Yeah.
Feet. I try to just look stupid, but I fall down a lot. But no, every time I'm walking somewhere, it's always multiples of 3, and also.
But it's not something Simone would notice, though.
Well, it isn't, and it really isn't. But in my head, like if I can't, because I'm doing the math as I walk, kind of just in the back of my head, like it's never like in the forefront of my mind. But if I walk into a room and I haven't done it, I feel really fucking weird, and like I feel very disoriented, and like. So
someone like rushed you, like Tatum, come here, come see this, you're like, and it's like hurry. Yeah,
and but I've gotten really good at adjusting, so I can do it on the fly and be like, all right, I can, you know. But it's weird. If you watch me, you'll notice, especially if it's a short distance and it's something I kind of have to do suddenly. There are going to be videos
now studying
this. I'll walk, and you'll notice, like for a pace, I'll be doing a normal pace, and then like the last few steps, I may take one really big step instead of 2.
Are you serious?
I'm absolutely not shitting you.
That
I do this,
weird.
and it's so strange. I have to make the bed before I get in bed because I cannot get into an unmade bed.
Steven has to do that. Like, I really don't care if the bed's ever made.
I cannot fall asleep if the covers are not on me. If they are aslant, like if they're aslant or whatever, or if like it's off, I just can't. I can't.
Pull them up.
Well, but sometimes you can't. Like I have to get out of the bed and actually rearrange it because like the thing is so.
You share a bed too.
We share a bed too, and Joshua does not care. Joshua could sleep. You know,
I'm Joshua in this scenario. Yeah, I do not give a fuck.
And so he goes to bed usually hours before I do, and I'll get up and I'll have to like kind of.
Sweetie.
So you make your side of the bed? And
no, I make the bed with him in it, basically, and which I do, and he sleeps through it.
So now, whenever Joshua doesn't go to bed first, you have to like put pillows
so it's
where
like,
Joshua is.
It's midnight.
Yeah, actually, it's true. I have to do that. So that's one.
So like at night, it's like midnight. You're dead tired, and the bed is just like all a mess, and you make it before you get into it. That's weird.
Because I cannot fall asleep, or I can't. It's not necessarily that I can't fall asleep. Sometimes it's that I cannot stay asleep if the bed is unmade. It's weird. Like if the sheets are crumpled, or if they're kind of aslant or whatever in some way, I just feel out of kilter, and my body will be like, "No, you need to make the bed," and my body will just gets. It's not like a nervous tick. It's not like, "Oh, I have to do this or I'm going to die." It's just like. I don't sleep as soundly if the bed is not made. It's so weird. It's true. And whenever I'm, on the road, I have to make the bed before I get into it, which is why I love living at a hotel. You go and the bed's made for you. And
I never trust hotels, so I unmake the bed and make it the way I would make it.
Are you serious?
Yes, I don't, because the one time I didn't, like, the sheets were filthy. Like, so I never trust the staff ever.
Even if it's like Hilton 5-star. Mm-hmm. You will just remake that bed.
I will tear the shit out of that bed.
Here's another weird thing. I hadn't thought about this, but I totally do this. And this is one of those just weird little things. Do you ever, it sounds like a superstition, but it's not really, because I don't really, I guess, put any stock behind it, but I do it anyway. But I just don't know what else to call it. But let's say there's like an issue going on in your head, like a yes or no issue, like you should do this or you should not do that. And it may not be a big dilemma. It may just be like, should I get pizza tonight or should I make a sandwich? It could be that, something like that. Mm-hmm. There's some decision and you decide on, like, sometimes we'll flip a coin, all things being equal. Yeah. You don't know what to do, so you flip a coin. But have you ever, in lieu of doing something like flipping a coin, have you ever done something else? Like you suddenly just, I will turn my brain on and I'm like, all right, I'm looking for signs in what's around me right now. And if if I change the channel and, if I'm surfing the channels and the next thing I see is a commercial I recognize and I hate, that means I should make a turkey sandwich instead of pizza. Like, it's so fucking weird. I mean, things like that. And sometimes it's like, all right, I'm going to open this door.
You look for little signs.
Little signs like that. And it's just weird. It's not like I actually think the universe is talking to me. I'm just like, I can't make this decision. I need something. I need to creatively do it. So it's almost like,
it's like flipping a coin.
It's like playing Ouija with just your surroundings. There's no ghost involved, hopefully.
I look for multiples of 4.
Interesting.
I've always been obsessed with the number 4. I don't know why, but my birthday's 4/4/84.
Mine is 3. My number is 3.
And
mine's 9.
That's
which is a multiple of 3.
There you go. But yeah, no, like if I'm like auditioning for something and they'll be like, oh yeah, you're like the 4th person to audition. I'm like, sign. And then, if it doesn't work out, I'm like, that was stupid. But
yeah. You're always able to discount it if it doesn't fit. If you just forget about it. But
usually
you're like, oh, that was totally
good things come in 4s for me.
See, good things come in 3s for me.
Like I think the 4th person I said I love you to was Steven.
Aww.
Because they're like 3rd time's a charm. I'm like, if that is true, I am fucked.
Well, let us just say that Joshua represents a number that is a multiple of 3.
Saying I love you at particular points.
Well, wait, do you think 9 is funny, you said?
I think 9 is hilarious because it's like, why not 10? Why did you just stop? Like, if somebody gives you 9 of something, you're like, really? 9? All right.
Why did I need 9 copies of
Well, like, when you think about it, 9 is like the natural end of I guess the natural digits, because everything after that is just a combination of those 9.
Sure.
Because then 10 is just 1 and 0, really. I mean, on paper.
But it's a good solid round number, 10.
10 is a great round number.
It's an even number. Like me, I also hate odd numbers. I hate when things end oddly. They have to be symmetrical.
See, I like odd numbers, but only in multiples of 3, which is so weird. But yeah. Okay, so here's a question I had. Did you have any other weird things to add to the things you do?
I can't say the N-O, that word without...
You can't say no?
I can, but it sounds like some form of like English or Australian or something. It comes out very strangely. It's like no. It's like what it comes out like.
Really?
Constantly.
Just naturally, like you
just naturally. I think I was trying to trace it back, like where it came from, because I'm sure that didn't happen like in freaking elementary school. But I know it's happened ever since.
Just picked up on
from something like it must have come from like junior high or high. I don't know where it came from. I really don't. It's very strange. No. Yeah, and so like a lot of my friends will just make fun of me whenever I say.
I've never noticed it.
Now you probably will.
Can you say no if you think about it? Can you say
if I like, it's when I'm not thinking about it, it just comes out. They're just like, "What did you say? Why does your word have like 5 syllables?"
It's an interesting question, Vicky.
Now here's a question, and this is building on that question, extrapolating on that question, if you like. What are weird things each of us do that we notice, but the other person doesn't necessarily?
You
shit.
No, I love this kind of thing. No, I don't mean like, there's, just little things that
you kind of sound like a bitch.
Little things?
Little things that you notice the other person doing that you're like, yeah, I've just noticed that about you. And it's just,
it's something that you've picked up on that you do now. But as you are making a point, you start to speed up, and then you get very slow again, and you twirl your hand whilst you're doing it, like you're Maleficent or something. Just very
I do.
Like me just reading this,
like Tatum just kind of like turns into liquid and just like liquid intensity when he talks.
It's liquid velvet, like
it's like a full body.
See, I like this. I like being described like liquid velvet. Nothing wrong with that.
Liquid velvet. It's a great description that I use for people like you, Jason Douglas, things like that. It's like
that's really cool.
Liquid velvet.
Really Jason
Douglas. Ooh,
but Jason Douglas.
I'd say it's that
too.
Yeah,
that was mine.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
bring it.
I think. Well, you play with your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And you love to do the mustache thing with your bangs. You do that all the time.
I love mustaches. Do you know that about me?
Mustaches.
Because it covers up my actual one. No, I don't know. My dad always had a mustache, and I just always thought that was funny. So, like,
it's just cute though, because sometimes a lot of times you'll do it intentionally, like, oh, look, I'm Terri, blah blah blah.
But
a lot of times you'll do it. You'll just do, it's your thinking.
It's my thinking thing. Yes, because my curl like ends weird, and it'll just fit. Right.
It makes a perfect mustache.
It really
does. You can see it right now. It's absolutely perfect, and it's very pliable.
His name is Armand.
You named your stash?
No, I didn't. I do love mustache. Like Tatum's bought me a lot of fake mustaches and stuff over the years. But yeah, I've never realized that about myself.
Yeah, you just you do that. You play with your hair in a really fun way. The only odd thing I know that you do is kind of intentional, but and you haven't done this for a while, and I'm rather. I don't know how to feel about that you haven't done it in a while. I feel a little left out, but you used to love playing with my elbows.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
All the time. If we hadn't seen it, yeah, she just.
What's with the elbows?
She just liked to just pinch them and not hard.
We haven't been standing next to each other.
That's true.
If somebody is standing, I forgot about that.
Is it because they can't feel it?
No, I don't know. It's just funny. I don't know. If someone is standing next to me, I will go pinch the elbow. I just can't help it.
Yeah, and she's doing this to me all the time. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, because we would be standing together, like the elevators.
Yeah, in the elevators or something, or in the booth together or something.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, and I'd be like, what the hell? What are you doing? She's like, I don't know. I need to do this. I don't understand. I'm sorry. Just let me do it. And I'm like, okay.
Can't not pinch your elbow.
I always felt a little violated afterwards.
No, I've never.
But now I kind of miss it. How weird is that?
Never ever seen her do that. For me, like Leah and I.
Well, it's only elbows she can see. Like,
okay.
so if you're wearing
if you're wearing a jacket
right next to me or something, it's just kind of like a nervous like.
See, I always wear a lot of jackets because I'm very insecure about my arms, but which is funny that I have tattoos on them. But for me, I don't know if it's a Leah with everybody thing, but for me, Leah and I occasionally just like to be like, hey, like this means nothing, but can I vent to you? Like we became, I think we really became friends during Baka.
Yeah.
And Leah, for me anyways, whenever she's done making her point, she floofs the back of her head.
You do?
Like she's like,
yeah, exactly like that.
Floof. End of like the defense rest. Defense rest. I didn't even notice that. Really? Yeah. That's funny. I mean, like, really? I didn't even.
Well, no, I massage my hair, my scalp, because I heard in middle school that it makes your hair grow faster. And so we've gotten the habit of just doing that. And now I don't believe that works. But you
still do it because we just do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
It feels nice.
I love little quirks like that, though. I
haven't noticed
they bring out the
thing about
sort of
me. I guess the mustache thing. I think I have a lot of.
You have a lot of quirks.
Do I?
Yes.
I'm quirky.
Very quirky.
Yeah. Maybe I hide them better with Leah.
No.
No, Leah's too busy picking at her cuticles to notice.
Like what?
No. I noticed one, but I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's that. it's the look. Like
it's the look.
I can tell when Terri.
Is it the mom look?
No, it's just
it's
the I don't really understand you look. Like you're not making sense to me.
I'm studying.
If I may describe this look, I have a word for it in my own head. It's you have 5 seconds to have this mean something.
Yeah.
And like that's that look. It's like you are.
It's like a squint and an eyebrow at the same time.
It's like that judge, like that's just been like overruled, and you're like, you better be going somewhere with this counselor. It's that look. It is that look. Yes. You fall into that look rather naturally, and it's really funny.
Yeah. Well, shit. Well, then you know when I'm pissed at you. Damn it.
Oh, I always know when you're pissed.
Oh no, you do, because it's just like, yeah, no, dude. Okay, like I get it, but what the fuck? Yeah, but. And then it usually ends with like, I went too far. Sorry. But, no.
And you buy me a plant.
Yes. Usually, actually,
did you buy him a plant?
The first time I had been drinking. It had been it's only the only time where we didn't just like call each other on our shit and then just like hash it. It was like the only time where it was like, we're not going to talk about what just happened.
Yeah, it was
and the rest of the night's going to be awkward.
I kind of put up the wall of ice because I don't even remember what it was. Something really minor, but I was in a bad mood.
Bitching about something and you were just like, well, like here, and it was him just going like, yeah, but sometimes you can be. I'm like, no. Bullshit.
And I was like,
and he went, okay, and he's like, I'm gonna go make another gin and tonic.
And I kind of get that thing where I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna now just look at you and be cold. No, you went like, night. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Yeah, no, you're right.
And I went, oh shit, and I looked at Steve and I'm like, what did I just do? He's like, what did you just do? And I'm like, well, I want to do something immediately. And he's like, give him a couple days. I'm like, I want to do something immediately. I want to fix it. But what I did was...
And I was mad for all of 2 minutes, and then I just kind of let it go. But
then I kept texting, kept emailing. I'm like, dude, we go. Aw. Because that's just how I roll. Like, if I really dig you, like, I'm very upset that I've made you upset.
She was. And I was upset that you were so upset, because I didn't mean for you to be. I was just like, I was mad for 2 minutes.
I overanalyze about... like what I say sometimes, because growing up is just like, why would you say it like that? Like when you could say it like this. And I'm like, okay, you're making me think about like how I say things too much. So now it's like word vomit. But it was a couple of days later, I was recording Ride Back, and Tatum wasn't recording with me, but I knew he was going to be in. And I was like, hey, come here for a second. He came into the studio, and I had a cactus behind my back, and I went, sorry, I'm such a prick, and gave it to him.
Oh, that's
and
cute.
that is so the way to make up to me, because that was clever and ingenious, and I love it. I don't like when people
That's so cute.
I'm going to steal that.
I think this qualifies. I think
Start giving everyone cactuses.
Yes. If you get a cactus.
Now you got one, and that's it. You can't do it again, because then it's not clever anymore.
It was also a teeny tiny.
It was a teeny. Sorry for being a little prick, and I was like, and she knew like I was into growing plants and stuff, because I like had my little riparian.
Yeah, like our first conversation ever was about how he had like carnivorous.
Yeah,
plants
my little bog terrarium
before they got mercury poisoning.
I killed them all accidentally.
You guys are so green. I can't grow anything.
No, well, I grow them and then they die horribly. Like it's like a horror movie the way my plants die. They get beautiful and then like something kills them all in like a day. But that's a weird quirk of mine. Speaking of quirks, it's really difficult for people to apologize to me, because if
is it really?
Yes, it is, and it's difficult for me to take an apology.
Why?
And it's not. It's because and for me, it's how they frame it. Because most of the time, when people say they're sorry,
it's like, sorry, you got offended.
It's that I'm really sorry you felt that way, but it's not how that I was intended. And they're trying to excuse themselves from what they actually did and say, well, it's your fault for reading into it, or your fault for being offended. And I'm like, that's not
essentially
the way
saying sorry you feel that way.
Well, how should they apologize?
Well, I think, and I'm big on this, when I've done something
we can all take notes.
that I think the way to apologize to someone when you have done something to offend them is not to call them out for being offended, because even if they have no right to be, or they're oversensitive, it's not going to get you anywhere with them, because people don't respond to that. They're like, oh no, you're just prolonging the argument by going, well, why are you offended? And like a person that's offended doesn't really want to necessarily explain why they're offended. They just want to be left the fuck alone,
totally.
whatever. So like, I don't like people that say, well, I'm really sorry you felt that way. I just like, for me, the sincerest apology is like, I'm really sorry for what I said, and I will never do it again. Is like the only way to apologize that's effective. And when that happens, I'm like, okay, then we can move forward. But people that apologize in any other fashion, for me, it just strikes me as, no, they're just trying to save face. And rather than really apologize, they're trying to prove that, look, I'm not the problem here. You are. And that's not how to apologize.
Right. I think that's just a general rule, though. That's not like...
Yeah, but people have a hard time apologizing, genuinely.
Yeah.
Because people have a hard time owning that they've done something wrong.
And that's something that I learned a while ago. I'm like, you have to own up when you're being a dick.
You've got to just be like, look, what I did was a shitty thing, and I'm really sorry, and I will promise that I will really try hard to never do that again.
Or even if it's just a difference of opinion. Like, it's like...
People get so prideful about that.
Yeah. People are it's very hard to swallow your pride, and that's.
It seems like it shows more strength to be able to apologize than.
I think it does.
Yeah, it's like, you stick to your guns or whatever.
Yeah,
like
that's
look,
crap.
I went too far. I'm a dick.
Own your shit, kids. Own it.
Shit. We're all flawed. You gotta own it. Lesson of the day.
Should we move to lightning round, or should we mention Mariah's little game?
What's
let's go ahead and mention
I want to do it.
I'm fascinated by the game.
Okay, this is from Mariah. And I got a kick out of it. I read it to Steve, and he's like, yes, it has to go on. Well, me and my friends have always been fighting over who owns, quotations, which voice actors and characters, so I created a card game called My Little Harem. I own Tatum, Terri, and a few others, for instance.
She owns you.
Master. Well, your cards. I mean, who else has the Terri card? They're very witty, I'm sure. The cards come with a ranking out of 5 and a description. Name a few voice actors and give them a rank and what you think their description would be. Thanks, lovelies, smileys. And ranking system. 1 is harem virgin. 2 is harem cutie. 3, harem babe. 4, harem badass. And 5, harem master. Please note, Terri and Tatum got 5 out of 5, so they are harem masters. And Tatum's description is when he talks, sound waves start fornicating. That is why his voice is sex to your ears.
I know, and I was given this card at a con recently, which I thought was really, really funny because it was a good picture of me. They found a picture of me I actually liked, which is rare.
Like, oh, a good picture.
I was like, oh, that's a good picture of me. And Well, I guess I'll start us off then, if you want.
Yeah.
So who do we pick?
Anybody.
I guess. Or we could limit it to us, or... Well, I guess we're already...
I'm going to pick, like, an example from every rank. Right?
Okay.
That's the only way I know to do this.
Okay.
Yeah, without it going all over the
I guess, so like a 5, so 1 out of 5 would be someone who's like, you want them in their harem, but you know it's going to be weird because they're inexperienced.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to say that would be, let's see, and all mine are going to be dudes. So, sorry.
So these are people we want in our harem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm good.
So,
catching up.
Let's see. Harem virgin would probably be... Eric Vale.
Oh my!
Yeah, that would be. I mean, he's a great addition to any harem, but I know that would be so awkward for the poor man. So, but you know, harem cutie. I'm trying to think. Harem cutie, slightly less awkward than a virgin, but not a babe. And this has nothing to do with looks.
Being a virgin.
This has nothing to do with the looks. This has to do with their how I think they would flourish in a harem setting. I think so. I should hasten to say this. It's not about looks. All these people are beautiful. Right?
We hang out with a lot of beautiful people.
Harem cutie. I would go Scott Freeman. Scott Freeman. Harem cutie.
I think Scott's very pretty.
Very pretty. But he'd be a little awkward because it's not a harem would not be his natural setting, especially a gay harem. Not the man's natural setting.
Later, but yeah.
He would rise through the ranks very, very quickly. Harem babe. Oh, harem babe. I know who the last 2 are going to be. Harem babe. Who's a harem babe? I'm going to allow one woman to be part of this. Stephanie Young.
Oh.
She will be my harem babe.
Nice.
I'm so sorry, Stephanie. It will be so awkward for you. I know.
It's a beautiful woman.
Harem badass. Todd Abercorn.
There you go.
Todd Abercorn. I have the biggest crush on Todd.
Do you really? Little Asian man.
Yes.
I love him.
Todd's pretty.
Tasty Todd.
Again, we hang out with a lot of very pretty people.
The only corn I'd eat.
Shit just got real.
It just got real.
And a harem master. My harem master would be Jerry fucking Jewell. That's all there is to it.
Really?
Hell
That's how high he is on your ranking?
Fuck yes. Jerry fucking Jewell is a beautiful goddamn human being, inside and out, and he would have to be the harem master. There is no other place for him in that ranking. Everything else would just not be sufficient. He'd have to be harem master.
Harem. Okay, Terri Doty's harem now.
Ooh.
Harem virgin would be Tia Ballard. Harem cutie would be Lexi Tip Top, Alexis Tipton. Harem babe would be Jamie Markey.
Yeah, okay.
Harem badass would be Brina.
Yeah, of course. And
harem master would be the Clink and Beard.
Ah, you can't beat that.
I made it all ladies. There you go.
There you go, all ladies.
Because you took all my men.
Sorry. So can we not recycle?
I share.
You can recycle. I mean, you can recycle if you want. Terri just doesn't like to.
I was thinking, like, if they're all the same cards, like, if we're all having cards, like, none of us would have a duplicate card.
Oh, I don't. Oh, like, why are you handing me this? Oh, because I need the thing.
So you can have the rankings. You know who's like what.
Okay.
One is virgin. So who would your virgin be?
Okay, so and these are my harems. Like these are people that I have do stuff for me, or like we're all on a. Okay.
These are your sexual concubines.
So you would have. So hold on. You would have Tia Ballard in your sexual concubine.
She's a virgin.
Harem.
She'd learn.
And Colleen is your. All right. I'm learning all kinds.
Now you can do men if you want to do men.
I directed her and Rin. We talked quite a lot. I'm confident in my choice.
Oh snap! All right. Well, I'm gonna mix it up. Let's see. Awesome. My harem virgin. God, this is so.
Isn't it hard to do?
It is really hard to do. You guys are really impressive that you did it this quickly.
Maybe we'd been thinking about.
I think about this all the time.
I just brought it out. Like, okay, God, we can talk about this.
Okay, harem virgin.
Now, if you're having trouble, you don't have to start with virgin. You could start with whoever you know who's going to be what, and come back to the harder ones later. You don't have to do them in order. In other words.
Well, I think my harem virgin, and this may not be accurate, but I would say Joel McDonald would be my little.
Ah, damn it! I forgot to put Joel on my harem.
Joel's a pretty man.
Virgin.
Again, we know a lot of pretty people.
Yeah, it's so hard to pair down.
Mm-hmm. Why did I make all them women? I'll be a late in life, Les. It'll be fine.
Harem cutie. I would put little Tia in there. Harem cutie. I think she's cute. She's a doll face. She would have to sing
really adorable.
Super bass to me in that high pitched voice. Did you see that video that she made? No. Mr. I don't do Facebook. Did you see it? Mm-hmm. It was adorable. I played it like several times. I'm like 500 of her 600 hits that she has.
She's awesome.
Harem babe would be, I think, Kara Edwards. The harem babe.
Yes.
All right.
Good choice.
All right.
My harem badass? Oh, dude. Well, I'm torn because I don't know if I want him as my badass or my master. But I guess because he's married, I'll go ahead and make him my badass. So Travis Willingham is my...
Oh, what a Willingham.
Badass. If only that ham was willing. Damn you, Laura Bailey.
I know, right?
Or maybe I'll put Laura Bailey in as my virgin. I don't know. Okay. No, that sounded like Caddy, and it wasn't meant to be at all. Maybe I'll put her. Okay, mine is all over the place. Master. Jeez, that's
Harem master.
My harem master. Oh my God, that's hard. That's a hard one.
Sometimes that's important.
Can I be your harem master? I'll be your harem master. You can play with my elbows all you want.
Oh, that's weird.
It is kind of weird. Okay, I'm gonna switch you. You can be. You're the badass.
All right, I'll take badass.
Harem master, Travis Willingham.
There you go.
Done.
I like being in a harem with Travis Willingham. I like this idea. I am excited.
It's a beautiful harem I just created. I really like this.
That's a beautiful harem. I think we'll all go far with our harem. Our harems will make a lot of money for us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do some lightning. Like we've gone a little over what we normally do, and I know you've got plans. No, I just don't. I know you've got plans.
Okay. Yes.
So, but okay, we'll do some lightning rounds. All right.
Ooh.
Gene, which I like because karaoke people. What song do you usually go for when you're singing karaoke? All of us.
I don't sing karaoke.
If you had to.
I don't know.
You have to. Go
Mac the Knife. I'd sing Mac the Knife. Good old fashioned Mac the Knife.
I do like a virgin on the table.
And you did it great.
Thank you.
Not like a virgin though. Wow. I usually do Nancy Sinatra. These boots are made for walking, but if it's not available, I try to do Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back. It is either of those two. But I did Britney.
Oh my gosh, that was my favorite. We do karaoke roulette. We put everybody's name in a basket. You draw, and that's the person you pick a song for. I drew Terri, and I gave her "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears, and she nailed it. It was amazing.
I think I did it. Yeah,
it was
probably better than that. Though, yeah.
All right, this comes from Eric number 2.
Eric Dose.
If this is not indeed the same Eric with the earlier,
it might be. Who knows?
I wanted Eric Vale in my harem. Sorry.
No, Eric Vale's in my harem. Okay. So he's the virgin in my harem.
Really?
So maybe when he rises to the
I think he would be, higher on my rank.
Okay, this is from Eric. Do you have a useless superpower? For example, I am super sensitive to EM waves. It's some stupid thing that you do that only you can do, or that everyone's like, really?
I do. It's happened. It's stopped sessions before. It's something, I drain batteries. I do have strong electromagnetic.
Are you serious?
I do. My phone drains pretty quick, but like if Steven and I switch batteries, it's the same thing. I've a session had to be canceled for the day because a computer shorted out, and it never done that before. It was the weirdest thing, and it ended up causing fire to an outlet, and it's just because I've got strong battery shit. I don't know.
I have the exact same thing, which is why I've nearly been struck by lightning in my life about 5 times. Never actually struck, but very close to being struck, like practically struck. 5 times. I've had equipment fail on me, batteries drain around me. It's like...
I've had cars automatically locked to where I can't get out, windows won't roll down. I've had to like call someone to come get me because I couldn't drive my car.
I have the same fucking thing. It's useless because it's not like I can control it.
No, it's not like, oh yeah, what do you think about this? Hand on monitor. In about 5 minutes, you can be still waiting for something badass to happen.
In 5 minutes, the monitor might go bleep for a moment. And That'll be me.
A negative X-Men, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm a last resort, like still holding
the thing about people that can do this. It's something to do with their biochemistry,
the molecular structure. Yeah.
Holy
really
crap!
What about you?
I don't really have any. I mean, I'm very good at dream interpretation, and a lot of times I'm very accurate.
That's pretty cool, but that's not really a useless superpower. That's a pretty handy one.
Yeah, I guess so. It can be.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool though. Really
Thanks.
good dream interpretation. I like that.
All right. Michelle asks, if you were allowed to commit one crime, without going to jail or receiving any sort of penalty, what would be your crime?
Good dude, robbery. For real.
Yeah, something that I wound up getting a lot of money from. I would. Yeah.
I'd punch someone. Punch someone hard. Like, there's so many people, or like if I could like just go like through an entire mall and be like, dude, like, fuck you for wearing those pants. Boom. Fuck you for being a dick. Boom. Like, I don't even know you, but you're probably a dick. Just beat the crap out of people.
You would just like be in a video game of life. Just like punching out all the bad
and just
guys.
Constantly like kick, punch, combo, kick, punch. Yeah.
But that's a lot of crimes at once. No lawyer in the world is going to miss that chance of presidency. Well, that guy you beat the shit up. That's not that's the one you get out of. But the other 85 people.
Okay, if I had to punch just one person, probably like I'll wait for my reunion, which is coming up, and just punch the guy that put a sign on my back. He wouldn't even remember, but
Somebody put a sign on your back?
Yeah.
You were a cliche?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
I was a portly drama kid wearing my Ren Fair costume, and he put a sign on my back.
What was the
I don't know. I didn't look at it. I just tore it up and started crying. But I would find him now and just bam!
Oh.
I would get away with that, yeah.
I could see that. I
want to go like
See,
80s movie, like punch into cake and,
punch into cake.
Punch into
punch
cake.
the bastard into a punch
Make
bowl.
that something. Yeah. Punch into cake.
Punch into cake.
Punch into cake.
Hashtag punch into cake.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. I could just totally see that happening.
Would you just rob somebody?
I would. Well, I mean, if I started like,
something.
I would some sort of heist that got me a lot of money, because I'm like, fuck, you really seriously? I'd never ever get in trouble for this. Fuck, then I'm gonna have a lot of money to show for it, so I can live comfortably. That would be my thing. I'm very shallow.
Okay, this is from Ryan. If you were a baseball player for a major league team, what team would you play for, and what would be your at-a-bat song? AKA your entrance as you walk onto the field. Now, I don't know what team like that one that wins a lot. Director of big wind-up. But I'm much more of a fan of Japanese baseball. It just makes more sense. I guess, I don't know. The Rangers, since we'll go local, whatever. And my at-a-bat would be Bad Reputation.
Bad Reputation.
I would probably bat for the Red Sox. I'm not a big baseball fan.
The Sox?
But
yeah. Sox are awesome.
But my brother, that's his favorite
next time I go to Maine, they're going to beat the shit out of me.
And my nephew's favorite baseball team, and so they would get a kick out of me saying Red Sox. So I'm like, I don't even know if they're a good team.
Go Sox!
Go Sox! Go Red Sox! And my theme song would have to be something really quirky that would like be a game halter.
She blinded me with science.
Yeah.
Science.
No, it's far too obvious. I would have the theme. I would have the theme song from Doctor Who play. They'll be
like, yeah, what the fuck?
I'm coming out to bat. Like, what the fuck is going on? That would be what I do.
They call me the Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really follow baseball at all. I would play for the New York Mets.
Oh, so we'd probably play against each other.
We probably
a lot.
would.
Awesome.
And
I would probably win. Oh! I'm kidding.
My at-bat song would be "Oh Pretty Woman," the Roy Orbison one.
I'm like the Roy Orbison one, right? Yeah.
Walking down the street.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is our last question. And this is a good one for you, because I know that you're all about this kind of stuff. What is your favorite food?
No.
What is your favorite food to cook, bake, fry, or otherwise prepare?
Oh, cupcakes. Hands down.
Yes.
I love
and they
making
are delicious.
cupcakes. I love it. I love taking recipes, making them my own. My favorite thing to do with a cupcake is to take a request from somebody if they're like, I want something that tastes like this, or that's like a strawberry chocolate, blah, blah, blah. And then I will go home and I will create it. And I'll bring it.
The results. Just like, yeah, I made all these. Oh, no, I need this cupcake. I don't know. Yeah. Me, I grew up only cooking Mexican food. And
yum.
If you're really lazy, like I am, Mexican food's really easy to cook. Enchiladas.
I love making enchiladas.
I've made enchiladas a couple of times. I love making.
We should have an enchilada party because I make enchiladas too.
We had a taco party.
We had a taco thing.
What does that mean?
Wait a minute.
Where we had tacos and talked about ghosts.
We did.
We ghost hunted and had tacos.
Was I there for that? Was this?
No.
Where was I? How are you ghost hunting and I was not involved? I feel so left out now.
It would okay. Jamie's moving in on your territory because her and Hoff, or Marky and Hoff,
Marky and Hoff together they fight.
Or crime. As I Mark Hoff,
Hoffy.
They are a very good paranormal team. But yes, we've cooked a couple of times together.
That's awesome. I want to be part of this team.
Yes,
because I'm not a leader. I'm not a natural leader, but I'm the Giles.
Steven was just really good about freaking out Leah's roommate. That's about it. He's like, all the activities in your room. No, don't say that.
My favorite thing to prepare and cook. I really like making omelets, and I'm really good at it.
I don't think I've ever seen you make anything.
It's been a long time.
What's your favorite omelet?
There's, it depends. It's just like I like very simple omelets, but I love omelets with like peppers and cheeses and things like that in them. But I just love because I make them the old-fashioned way. Like I'll make them and flip them, in the pan, almost like you're making pancakes.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
And then fold them over. It's just the way I learned to do it, and I just love it. And I love making really fluffy eggs. I also really like. There's a way of making scrambled eggs in a double boiler that takes 45 minutes.
Oh wow.
And they're fucking awesome. You make them with like butter or like clarified butter and tarragon vinegar, and they
very
are
specific
recipe. It's like gourmet eggs or whatever. And I found this recipe and thought, oh my god, this sounds really, really good. So I went out and got a double boiler, and I'm like, I want to try this to see what they're all about. If they're really that good.
We've all got
and
like
it's awesome.
Things.
Like they taste like just little fluffy buttery clouds when you're done. And it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So omelets
Steven
and then double boiled.
His one of his favorite things to make. He's making me a spinach Alfredo pizza tonight.
Oh, god damn it!
Oh, yep. Nice.
That's like my favorite fucking pizza in the world is the one Steven makes.
Steven's like Tatum's like, hey, I'm coming over and I want a white pizza. Like,
am I staying for dinner? Am I staying for dinner?
I don't.
Is there enough?
Ask Steven.
Steven?
We haven't even made it yet.
Steven, I'm going to go talk to Steven. You wrap up the show. I'm going to go talk to Steven on the pizza. It's great to have you here, Leah.
Thank you for having me, Michael Tatum.
I'm going to talk about the pizza. Bye, everyone. I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Does that happen? Is that normal? Oh, is he just up and leaves?
Yeah.
What is he, Chris Sabat? What's going on?
What? I don't even know what that means.
Sabat, like if you're ever recording with him, he'll just be, okay, I gotta go. I'll be right back. And then he'll leave you.
I've disappeared.
He doesn't do it so much anymore. He used to back in the day. But yeah.
Well, with that being said, thank you for being a guest on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. This wasn't nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be.
See, I told you.
It's all good. It's all relaxed.
Yeah.